Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first round commentary of the 30th edition of the Space Coast Open. I'm very excited to be back commenting on this tournament and certainly hope that we'll have some enterprising chess being played this weekend. And feel free to ask anything that you want. The tournament takes place in Florida. I'm not currently there, so I'll be at home, but we do have the games being broadcasted live. So we'll be looking at the top 6 boards. But before I get into the actual games, I wanted to just kind of let everyone know a little bit about the tournament, where it takes place, the time control, the different sections, and then we'll get into the games because I think we're all looking forward to that. Again, want to say thank you to the organizers for having me cover the event. I think it was the third time in a row or fourth time in a row, third time in a row probably. So yeah, very excited to be here. Hi, Casual, how are you doing? Great to see you here. Okay, so this is not the US chess event. This is a different one. The US chess event will actually take place next weekend. So for this one, it has $20,000 prize fund, and it takes place like it starts today, and then we have 2 rounds tomorrow and 2 rounds on Sunday, which I will be covering. Tomorrow the rounds start at 10:30 and 4:30 p.m. Eastern time, and I'll start probably about 15 minutes later because there's a 10-minute delay. And on Sunday also 10:30, and then the next round will start 1 hour earlier than on Saturday. So we'll be having quite a bit of of a day, like back to back, basically. So just to remind everyone, so the open section is going to be played at 90 plus 30. There's no second time control. I don't know why. I remember last time there might have been one, but I could be totally wrong. There's 6 sections altogether, and they have pretty nice prize fund for them. What I like about it is they have top upset prizes. So they have a book prize, and they also have a brilliancy prize. I always love the brilliancy prizes because, listen, we're playing a good tournament, we're playing a good game. Maybe we have the chance to beat someone in, really fast. Why not have the opportunity to actually receive something for it? So that is pretty cool. Anyways, I'll be trying to figure out. I forgot to ask where exactly is the page with the standings, but that will be given to me later. And as I mentioned to you, this is the schedule here. So 10:30, 4:30, 10:30, 3:30 p.m. tomorrow. So I'll be covering the main tournament, and there's 6 games broadcasted live. But enough with the talking. Let's get into the games. I think that is something much more exciting for everyone to see. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, and hopefully everyone likes the way I have set up this. If you feel that I can change anything, if you guys have any problems reading anything, or you notice any typos, feel free to let me know. But other than that, I think we can get into the commentary. So looks like on board 1 we have I know that we had some grandmasters. Maybe they're taking a bye in the first round, because I did see they have side events. So I can tell you guys a little bit about their side events that they have. They had Grandmaster Zhuzhan Chao having a lesson, and then the Grandmaster Nikola Mitkova. I thought they would be playing in the tournament as well, but maybe not. Maybe I missed something, or maybe they just played the 2-day schedule. But right now, the players that we have on the top boards is so Eric Rodriguez against Lyubomir Gospodinov. Okay, so what did we have? I started with the Slav. Knight f6, knight c3, e6. Okay, transposing into a semi-Slav or Meran. So basically here, can Can you guys see the position well? I think so, yeah. Good. So there's a very long and very fancy line here with bishop g5. We can try this Botvinnik line actually with white if we want to, but it looks like the game, wait, let me make sure that this is the live position. In fact, this actually happened. I don't know why it got changed there for a little bit, but yeah, here knight b d7, queen c2. Lichess has changed a bit, so now it's I was a bit confused as to what is happening. Yeah, so queen c2. No, but this is not the line I'm looking for. This is not the line I'm looking for. Knight d7, e3. Actually, if I were black, I would have played the Cambridge Springs. I think this is a slightly better idea to play, I think. With black. Bishop e7 seems a bit passive to me. Like, white kind of gets the same thing. Normally, the reason you're playing the semi-Slav is to make sure that white is not going to get the bishop in g5. Because specifically, you know, either you'll do that or you'll probably take, right? So if you're not going to play the Cambridge Springs, then you can take. And then if white ends up playing e4, then this is the Botvinnik system that I wanted to show you. So there's a lot of theory here. I don't know who is... You like the Space Coast Chess Festival poster? Yeah, I don't know if it's a Rocket King or a King Rocket, but it is a nice one. Yeah, they had that last year too, and they told me they used the same this year. So I was like, oh, great, because I did like it a lot. So that was good. So anyways, this is a very, very fancy and long line that you have to memorize with both colors. So if you're not up for it, then you probably will not be memorizing this. But anyway, so e3 was played, and now we're transposing into some kind of Queen's Gambit declined, because Rook c1 is very typical. So we'll have to see if black will be able to come up with something here. Let's go to board 2. I just want to make sure we catch up with the openings. I wanted to give it a little bit of time as we were catching up with the delay, because they do have a 10-minute delay. But in this game, Nate played against FIDE master Ryan Ambergy. And we had... So when I was a kid... Okay, it starts as an English, right? But when I was a kid, knight f3, I always called it the Reti. But it's not really Reti. Here. We're playing a Benoni with reverse colors. This should be a fun game to follow for sure. Because, you know, Benoni these days does not have the best reputation. But listen... I like to see a Benoni here and there. One of my friends sent me a game that he had played, and he won against a strong title player, and I thought it was a really nice way to show how you can get some tactical ideas. So I'm curious if white will be able to get something here. These are quite typical moves. Castle, a3, a5, of course. Anytime you see a3, you definitely want to stop b4. And now white has these ideas, but it looks like white ended up playing queen c2 here. But there's an idea like this, to play knight e1, knight c2. So, you know, you switch the position of the knights. This one can come to control e4. Maybe we'll go to f3 eventually. But by moving this knight back, you bring it to c2, rook b1, followed by b4. White can proceed with, you know, continuing to put pressure on the queen side. So this is kind of a nice thing to consider there for sure. Okay. But he went queen c2, e5. Okay, now for white it will be a bit difficult to get this move in. Still, rook b1 might be something that white can consider here, but I don't know, or c5. c5 would be another thing to do, because then when you go back, we can try to go knight c4, and at least, you know, we've advanced a bit, we push the bishop away, and then we can try to plan to play b4. We have to support it bishop d2 or rook b1 first, obviously, otherwise we're pinned. So that's not going to work, but once we support that, then we have some ideas. Yeah, Cambridge Springs is a nice defense to consider for black in the previous game for sure. Casual. Yeah. So Benoni and Reverse Benoni certainly has been played more recently at the top level, but I think there's still quite a lot of ideas you need to be familiar with because it's quite a tactical opening, and if you're not finding your right resources, then you will end up staying kind of passive. I'm actually surprised that black rushed with e5. I don't think black should rush with e5. Typically when I play these lines, I try to make another waiting move here with black. Like even a4 is a nice move because whenever b4 will be played, you want to take en passant, or maybe h6 could be a nice move I've tried in the past. I think when you play e5 a bit too soon because you've lost, you're down a move because you're playing this with the black pieces, and secondly, you're down a move because you played e6, e5. So I'm not sure for black is necessarily, the best thing to do here, but certainly it is something. Okay, I've seen a few games by FIDE Master Ryan Ambergy, so I believe he knows what he's doing, but we'll have to be back to this game and see how they continue. Ooh, British Chakrabarti. I used to analyze a lot of his games from the nationals. I don't know what age he's at right now because maybe I'll see him next weekend for the Super Nationals too. But anyways, what have we got here? Another English. Are these guys following each other's games now? Because there was no d4 here. Black sets up kind of against a potential Catalan. The white did not play d4. Okay, b3, b6. And the white decided to take. Quite interesting. So here's an important thing to consider. So white sometimes in these positions considers to go here d4. The idea of this move is, of course, to gain more center, but you want to be mindful when you play it. So I guess he wanted to capture here first, because by capturing, when black captures like this, then you'll know whether you want to play d4 or not. Maybe you'll choose not to play d4 and you'll try to utilize the diagonal like this. If they capture with the knight, maybe you'll consider also not going d4, though you may, who knows. I would play d4 because then black doesn't have a pawn in the center. So if you go d4, then you can go e4, chase the knight away, and then advance and get a bit more. In the previous game, casual, you're looking at a4. Yeah, a4 is quite typical for those types of positions for sure. So bishop b7, d4, knight d7 is the current position here. And I think if I were white, I'd continue knight d2 followed by, like, let's say c5 for black. And now you need to decide. But white's setup is just a tad better than black's because this bishop in g2 is a bit unpleasant. There's no bishop in g7 for black, so white is a tad better, but whether he'll be able to really outplay his opponent, that remains to be seen. Catching up with board 4, we have a top very strong female player, Rose Atwell, who's had recently a very good play in the past years, becoming a, I don't know if she's a WGM yet or not, but she's definitely crossed 2300, and she's had a really good past 2 years to increase in the standings in the top female player list. So looks like she's playing with the black pieces here against Anthony Gospodinov, and now we have again a Queen's Gambit. Notice these days people do not play the move knight f6. It's just a little nuance. It's not that much of a difference, but basically, I mean, it is. With knight f6, you allow this line. Pawn takes d4, d5, pawn takes d5, bishop g5, and now when you go bishop e7, e3, with a plan of playing knight, bishop d3, knight e2, castle, and eventually white will support the center with f3, knight g3, and e4. It takes a long time to do it, but this is one of those ideas that was, I think, originally started by former world champion Botvinnik, Mikhail Botvinnik. However, However, when you're playing bishop e7, you're not allowed the move bishop g5, and white does not have a good waiting move. Okay, so basically, if you're gonna play knight f3, well, then you cannot play that plan with e3, knight e2. If you play the move e3, well, then sorry, the bishop is not gonna get developed in g5. And if you play, for example, like bishop f4, then obviously you've decided you're not going to go for bishop g5. And these plans with e3, knight e2 do not really work as great with the bishop in f4. You got different ones. Obviously, if you capture, they take back, you haven't succeeded in much. So then there is this other idea, because obviously each move, you cannot just have the perfect move that doesn't allow anything that you don't like and just only allows what you like. No, of course not. Now in this position, there's this idea for white. They can try to go for e4, right? So they can take advantage there's no knight there and just say, hey, I'm going to get the center. And then when we go for this, you know, we can try to have some plus in the center, but this line is not to be confused with other lines, by the way, because now, for example, knight f6, it's what do you do? Because if you take, well, I'm very happy, I developed, I'm putting pressure, not so great. Sorry, not that line. And if you end up, for example, going back, then maybe black is going to castle, followed by c5, and black will be okay. So we cannot really do every single thing that we want. Not to be confused. Some of you may have looked at that and said, Sabina, come on, what you're talking about? Yes, not to be confused with this, okay? This is not exactly the same thing. There is an interesting line here. I think it's called some kind of Marshall gambit, some other Marshall, not the Marshall from the e45. So here the idea is that black has not touched the bishop yet, so they go here, bishop e4 check. And if you go bishop g2, then queen takes d4, bishop takes b4, queen takes e4. And let me tell you about this position. This is messy. I ended up playing this myself at some point. I think it was against Jennifer Yu one time in a tournament. And I had the black pieces, and she did this, she played this line. I was up a pawn. I felt I somehow defended well and I was doing well. The only problem was, for some reason, due to unforeseen circumstances, I actually had to arrive late at the game. I was like over 30 minutes late, and that tournament did not have increment. So because of that minus 30 minutes, I ended up losing. But I can tell you, considering the amount of time that I spent, this is a position that requires some home preparation. And at the time, I remember I did not have. I'm not sure how much she had, but this is a mess. But this is completely different, right? Not to confuse those two lines. There's a huge difference. So if someone plays in the Queen's Gambit, over here, bishop e7, please do not confuse it. It is not the same thing. It's not the same variation. Okay, so do not go for e4, because that gives black a pretty decent play. The bishop is ready to put pressure in the center. So please be mindful about that. Okay. So the actual game proceeded as follows: bishop f4, Rose played knight f6. Okay, so c5, interesting. c5 is not the move that you typically see being played, but it has an idea. The idea is basically, because you put the bishop in f4 and you're controlling e5, you think black will not really have the opportunity to break through like that. You are trying to close down the position and somehow, you know, eventually put pressure on the c file. Sebas, hey, great to see you here as well. Oh, finally, I get a lot of my favorite people on stream to be here in the same time. That's really good to hear and see. Well, not here, I don't hear you, but I see you. So yeah, so now black kind of has to play b6. If you do not play b6 with black, you're going to struggle, because you cannot really break the position down in any way. You know, really, it's not going to be easy. So it's okay. If you play b6, then, like, typically we're thinking to go b4. Now, We did develop the bishop from here, so our rook is protected. So a5 is going to be met with a3. This is typically what you're thinking with the white pieces. But I have tried this kind of approach with white before, and I've played it with black as well. And the idea is that, you know, it's not like you get to trade a lot. Now, when you're playing a game of chess, just remember, it's not just about, oh, I need to win. I gotta think how I'm gonna win. You have to think psychology too. You need to think whom you're playing against. You need to think the standings of the tournament and so many other things. It's not just okay, let's just play a game. How much do you want to win? Okay, so when you're playing someone higher rated, usually I've noticed from the side of the lower rated person, they're trying to find ways to equalize somehow, get some positions that are not super like not too many pieces maybe or something. But that's okay, you know, like, it's fine. We're gonna come up with something. Iced coffee. He is learning chess since a few days streaming. Okay, that's right. It's good. Like, watching chess and looking at streams that talk about improvement is always nice for you to get you know, new hints as to what you can do. And yeah, don't be afraid to ask questions to others. And yeah, it takes time. Chess is not an easy game. It's not an easy game to learn, but once you get hooked to it, just be aware. Once you get hooked to chess, it's gonna be hard to let it go. So you gotta think now before you're too much hooked for chess, whether you really like it and wanna spend more time with it, because otherwise, just keep that in mind. Hey, Milan, thank you so much. What are you testing? Okay. You got stuck in this variation for black? No, this is not that bad. This is not that bad for black, because you traded some pieces. You don't have much space. You trade some pieces. You start... That's why I'm talking about psychology. Mindset is very important. You start with an idea like, you know, like... I need to equalize first. I'm playing with the black pieces. I need to equalize first. Once I manage to equalize, then I can think of how to outplay my opponent. But in the beginning, you have to figure out how you're going to equalize. Like, that is a pretty important thing. And I think oftentimes we forget about considering the equalizing part. We just want to kill our opponents. We just want to win. Nah, it doesn't always work that way, you know? Like... No, let's just equalize first and then improve slowly. White has no attack and white has a king in the center. Well, you are halfway right, Zeal. You're halfway right. So in this position, basically, like, after knight c6... Thanks for the gifted sub, I appreciate it. So in this position, okay, after knight to c6... you know, white's king is in the center, but notice black's pieces cannot really reach it yet. Just because it is there. Thanks, Ulan. Just because the king is here, it doesn't mean we can attack it. We have some other opportunities, you know, like, you know, maybe we'll get the knight, bishop, castle, right? But first, there's a threat, right? So each move we're thinking, what is going on in the position? Oh, that pawn is attacked? Okay, we gotta protect it. We can go queen b2 or queen a4. I think queen b2 is pretty decent, but black won't really reach white's king just yet. So we need to take a little bit of time to develop first with black, but we won't really get the king. So that's obviously the first thing you should look at, king safety. But this king is unfortunately... or fortunately for white, unfortunately for black, I don't know how you want to say it, it's not in danger. It is just in the center, and because the position is locked, it won't be attacked too easily. But it looks like Rose, actually, she did not take. She ended up going bishop b7 directly. That's a bit of a surprise, personally, to me. She's probably going to play... the move a5 a bit later. She's going to consider playing a5, a3 a bit later. So we can proceed with our development, right? We can even go rook b1 if we choose not to trade the rook, actually, at this point. Because now if black will take, we can take back. That's why I'm not the biggest fan of that move. And be aware, black does not have this move yet. Let's make it red so that you know that's a no. You want to h3. I love that. I love the idea of h3. Yeah. With white, you certainly want to save this bishop. You don't want to allow black to capture it. However, just because we did not play knight f3, knight h5 is not possible, so we don't need to play h3 yet. We can play bishop d3 and then h3 maybe before playing knight f3. Also, keep in mind, like, if... Let's just say I would have played knight f3. Oh, looks like some other move has been played. But if white had played knight f3 and you went here, we can go bishop e5. Typically, this is how it works. We're attracting f6, and when you play f6, even if we go back, like, we attracted f6, which is going to weaken a bit black's position, the knight cannot go back. And, you know, at some point, if you will take, I'll take back and I'll open up. Maybe you won't take anytime soon, but just... this knight will be trapped. So black cannot just play it anytime that they want. But yeah, it looks like white ended up playing knight to b5. Okay, I think white is rushing. That pawn is... you know... Do you think black is gonna play knight a6 here? I'm not sure, because I mean, I like a3. Can black give up that pawn and just play, like, queen a4? But then maybe c6? Oh, knight d6. Oops, I can't play c6. Maybe. But I don't know exactly what is your threat here after queen a4. I don't believe you really have that scary of a threat at this point. You want to target a6. Yeah, I get it. It's just... like, at some point, if I do end up playing c6, like... but, okay, I cannot play c6. Yeah, this kind of keeps me stuck. Maybe knight h5 should be played. Though I did say knight h5, bishop e5. Knight e8 was played. Okay, that is a different idea. Sure, to defend the pawn. And then eventually we'll push the knight away. I still think a5 would have probably helped black a bit to untangle. But again, you know, if you feel that the position is too equal, you might try to avoid. Yeah, you could try to get... I was trying to figure out if you could give up the pawn. But here, here I don't think I take it. But yes, here you're right, because now if I go back, then you just take, and then I think you can go e5. This is basically what you want to get a bit of activity. And then if I take knight... oh, sorry. Wait, is this... no. Knight e4. Yeah, you're definitely getting quite a bit of activity here, Sebas, for sure, yeah. Yeah, that was kind of a nice tricky move, knight c6. I don't think white can take. And if they take with the bishop, then you go queen d7, and then when the bishop goes back, basically, we're gonna try to go for it. And I've played in the past ideas like this where you go with the knight somewhere and then you don't have the opportunity to go back. So this is kind of unpleasant for white for sure. Knight c6 was an interesting choice, alternative. Maybe we just don't care. Oh wait, but then b4. We cannot really not care. Maybe rook b1. Exactly, Zeal. Yeah, black would get the activity on the c file. That's basically what would happen, and that's why I'd rather, I would have rather not play knight b5. You see, this is a move that if you're not sure you're gonna win the pawn in c7 in good terms, that you're actually gonna have advantage, why would you consider doing that? Like, I just don't think you should. I don't think you should consider. Anyways, we got 2 more games to catch up with, so let's do that and we'll be back. It's kind of interesting, you know, I've noticed this. I don't know about my chat or not, but I've noticed a lot of the times when I do commentary, I happen to get similar style positions, whatever it is. Each round is different, but each round is a very similar style kind of positions. Like here, we've had so many c4s, I can't even keep track anymore. I will forget which game was which. And so we have another Catalan. Okay. Azil, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Knight b5. Yeah, knight b5 feels like it's a bit too soon. Like, why is knight b5 being played? It's a little too soon. Okay, so now b6 and we can go. Okay, b6. Okay, I actually like this position. Okay. Okay, so we need to go to support e4. So what's the best way? This bishop here is not likable. Be aware, if you're ever playing against the Catalan with black, I would recommend personally to put the bishop in e7. You can have the exact same setup. Instead of having the bishop in d6, you put it in e7. That's it. As simple as bishop e7, if I can say that. If I may say that. Bam, the bishop there. Why? Well, when you are having the bishop placed in d6, and white will, and trust me, they will support e4, e4 is going to have the threat of e5, so then you'll have to trade. And then whenever a knight will capture back, you will have to take back. And then something else will capture back. I don't know if we can have 2 knights. If we could, that would be brilliant. And then it will be placed with tempo to your bishop. Not just that. In other situations, even if it's not a knight that comes and something else, c5 also can come in with tempo to the bishop, and you're kind of staying on this pin on the d file. That's a huge reason why you should consider keeping your bishop in e7. I've played these positions many times, and the first time I actually learned this position for black, I was preparing against someone. I remember my coach told me all of these ideas, and I thought I knew it perfectly. The only thing that I did, and I've shown this on stream on a few occasions, is I thought that the knight belongs to a6. Yeah, little did I know that the knight did not belong to a6, and I fell for some tactic that involved some discovery to put pressure and everything opened up, and there was some knight g5 that threatened a mate and my bishop in b7, which when I was losing that bishop there was a fork. So definitely learned that lesson too. One thing that I've been doing more recently, ever since I started coaching, and I always like to remind this to all of my students, is that you want to take small gains and you want to take small learning experiences, you know, like don't only look at your rating gain. If you didn't get, I don't know what amount of rating gain within 6 months, oh, this is terrible. No, look at your progress. Look at actually what you've learned. If you feel that today you know more than you did a year ago this time, and you're feeling more confident in your knowledge, and you know you're feeling more like you're spending less time thinking, you're, I don't know, anything positive, you've done something. It's a small gain that you should be proud of. Okay, don't only look at the rating gain. I'm proud that I know those things and I can teach them, and my students, especially kids, when I show them that game that I lost so badly, they're so excited about it. Like, like they think I never lose, and you suddenly show them a loss. They're like, wow, you lose two and you didn't see that? And I saw it in 5 seconds. I'm like, yes, you did. Good job. Good job. I did not see it, but you're good. Thanks, Sebas. I try. It doesn't always work, but when I can, I try to be as positive as I can. Sometimes it's hard for me too, but yeah. The more you teach, the more you're willing to learn yourself as a coach, the more you're gonna be able to change your students' lives. So hey, you gotta be willing to make that. Okay, so Queen C2 was played here, which I think White is still trying to decide where this knight belongs, whether D2 or C3. I do like it in D2 because it keeps this diagonal open. So, if ever Black considers to play E5, it's not happening. So he's probably just waiting. Rook E1 is also an option, so we'll have to wait to come back to this game and see how things go. Yes! Yes! We have a different opening. That's not the C4 one. It's not. I was just checking to see. Yeah, it's not a C4 one. Okay, so let's see. What have we got here? Scheveningen. If I'm trying to pronounce it with a Dutch pronunciation, hopefully is Scheveningen. Hopefully, close enough. I used to play this with Black. It's a nice opening, but you gotta be careful on how you're going to get your a6 b5 in. Maybe you will not. Maybe you will. Maybe you won't. It's a matter of how your opponent is going to place their pieces as well. So okay. What have we got here? H6. Oh, sorry. Bishop H4. You saw D4 and you thought White was trying for the Smith-Morra? Oh, okay. No Smith-Morra. But something aggressive, definitely F4. I don't know if this is the main theory. I don't think this is main theory. I thought the most aggressive line against the Scheveningen. Well, first, I knew this line, but I thought the most aggressive one was this, right? The Keres attack or something like that? What does Lee just say here? Yeah, the Keres attack. Okay. I remember one thing. I remember one thing and one thing only. The Keres. Okay. Because sometimes it's called the Yugoslav attack. I actually don't even know. I don't even know all of those names. It's okay. It's hopefully. I know sometimes it's the Yugoslav, sometimes it's the Keres, sometimes it's something else. I don't know. But I know it's G4. And G4 is my favorite, so, when I see it. But I thought this was the line. And yes, Lichas agreed with me. But this is something new. So White is trying to play like a Najdorf thingy, right? With bishop g5, h6, bishop h4 is like a Najdorf setup, one of those main lines that... And now f4, bishop e7. So I'm curious how he's going to proceed here. I mean, when you go f4, I feel like we're gonna see a long castle, right? Do you guys agree? Are we gonna see a long castle? Are we gonna see some e5? Is this bishop gonna come back to f2? I mean, eventually, probably. But I don't know the rest. So I guess the player with the black pieces is the higher rated player, although it doesn't show a rating, but he's probably over 2300. I have not, the only thing I have not seen on the website is were the standings, like the pairings, if the other grandmasters would be playing in the 2-day schedule, because I've seen that they're supposed to have a few grandmasters, but I didn't see Hmm. I didn't see the pairings. Oh, tournament results. Maybe I should look at tournament results. Nope. I will ask them to give me the pairings because I have not seen them where they were posted. Yeah, I can't see it. It's fine. It's fine. We're gonna focus on this. Hi Simon Lee. No, I'm not analyzing Fuller games. I'm doing commentary for the Space Coast Open. And yeah. So here Seba says Queen D3, preparing long castle. Yeah, I like how you think. I do like how you think. Yeah, Queen D3. Bishop D7. So typically I think they take and Rook C8. Or maybe not take, just Rook C8. Maybe something like this. Could be something to do. Or maybe we can go A6 and then take and Bishop C6, or... See, the problem is when you don't play G4 too soon, when are you going to play G4 is the question. Or don't get me wrong, I like this, but like if you don't go G4, where's your attack gonna, when, how? H3? Or maybe you just don't want to trade since I didn't trade, because sometimes they do that. If white doesn't trade, then sorry, if black doesn't trade in d4, then white sometimes goes back and leaves the knight there, because with the knight in c6 it's harder to do things, but I just don't know how serious this is. Rook c8. King b1. Yeah, it's gonna be something we're gonna learn, for sure. I'm gonna learn together with you. And I'm gonna pretend like I knew it ahead of time. So, you know, possibly no, I won't. This is what I know. I know some of the ideas. I should get more into some e4 stuff, but at the moment, Queen d3, Bishop d7. Dirk, hey, how are you doing? See, I'm finally streaming at a decent time. Queen d3, Bishop d7, Knight b5. Ah, a win. Queen d3, Bishop d7, Knight. I don't. Knight b4, right? Knight b5 is met with knight b4, and I don't think you have time for this because at the end there's gonna be some issue here, so you can't take. Is the problem with the queen in d3. I mean, maybe you can put it in d2 instead, but then you have to be mindful about this discovered attack, so that's why you probably have to put it in d3. Okay, all right. So we caught up with all the games, the top 6. Let's go back and do another round and see what else we have missed. So this was the one that could have been a Botvinnik, but it was not a Botvinnik system. Not Botvinnik system, Botvinnik line. A3. Okay, that's a suspicious move for me. I don't think I've seen A3 being played here before. A3 being played here seems a bit... It's stopping something, I don't know what. Because Queen C2 is usually what I see, right? Queen C2. It stops 94 because it, well, not exactly, but kind of. Because if you take... Yeah, so maybe A3 is to play Queen C2, because now there's no Queen B4, because here there's this line. And then they get that pawn. Bishop takes C7, knight takes C3. Rook takes C3, queen takes C7. Okay. Bishop D3, E5. Yeah, black has managed to equalize here. He has managed to equalize. Now, this is a move white normally doesn't want to make. Because if you do, then we take here first, and then they take, and this bishop has finally opened up. But if you do not take, however, after E5, if you do not take, then how are you going to meet E4? That's why I was not fond of what white did. Because I think they wasted the time. I mean, they should not have played A3, I think. This is probably Capablanca or Lasker's idea, one of their ideas. So bishop D3 controls the square. You cannot go knight here anymore. This would be a mistake. Can I put mistake? No, I cannot. Because we take. And now, you know, we don't have the queen there. We have the bishop, so we can go queen D2 and protect. That's why this is fine. That's why typically when you waste the time with the bishop, they take, and then they go B5 or something. But no cause for alarm. We just go back bishop D3. And we have the center. I would have liked this for white much better than how the game went. I think black equalized without any problems. We'll have to wait and see because the player with the white piece is supposed to be the higher rated player, right? So we'll have to wait and see if he can somehow gain some advantage in this position after E5. I don't know how easy it is. After E5, yeah, sure, you can go back, but then basically E4. So in 2 moves, black got the pawn from E6 to E4, and now, okay, you have to play this French pawn structure, where it's like, okay, you got rid of your bad bishop, sure. Yeah, it is a very nice space. Space Coast, space! Sometimes tournaments give you a hint as to what you're gonna expect to see in the tournament. You know. Or maybe this is just Sabina being creative, you know, because her mind is just going all over the place. But here, Staunton would be happy. Probably. Capablanca would be even happier. You know, Capablanca is my favorite. I'm talking about Capablanca on this stream usually. So, yeah, knight d2, I don't know, f5? Can I play f5? Do I need to play knight f6 right now, or can I just play f5? Will you have some trades? Bishop there, knight f6? No, I think I'm safe. No. I am ready for this attack. I mean, it's a nice attack that black can... Oh, okay, it's not winning, okay, don't get me wrong. Just having space, it doesn't mean it's automatically translates to a win. But it certainly gives black, like, an easy play, for sure, here. So, yeah. Definitely. Okay, let's catch up with the next game, which we stopped somewhere around here, right? I was mentioning in this position after a5 Then white had some ideas to try to bring this knight to c2 and try to play b4. I was being a bit maybe over expecting too much, but wait, white did not go for c5. Okay, this was my alternative idea. c5, knight c4, and prepare b4, right? With bishop d2, rook b1, b4. White needs to gain space on the queen side because he's got none anywhere. b3 is a bit passive. What's the opposite of ambitious? Do we have? What's the antonym of ambitious? Unambitious? Unambitious? I feel like passive. Really? In chess, yeah. But in real life also is passive? Timid? They don't have. Modest. Easy. Unambitious. Ah, I thought English language had a lot of terms not for ambitious. Antonym for ambitious. Interesting. Okay, no worries. No worries. You understand what I mean. It's a bit passive indeed. I don't know. Like, if you don't play c5, that's your only chance. If you are planning to do something like this, it's gonna be too slow. Because this is not... This is a nice way for black to stop you from playing c5. And you are not doing anything to play b4. Nothing. So you really need to come up with some way to do something here. Okay, let's see how the game proceeded. H6. H6, by the way, for those of you who are wondering why did this move need to be made. So because of this square, black eventually would love to play f5, but they cannot just suddenly, you know, play that. So h6 stops knight g5, knight e4, or, you know, like you definitely want to remain with a piece there. And you definitely want this knight moved so that you can play f4. This is another counterplay idea for white. If it's not b4, it's going to be f4 or c5, b4 or something. You're trying to give me antonyms. I don't know. I knew unambitious. That was the first thing I said, but I just thought there was something fancy. You know how English language has 10,000 words to say something, and then suddenly you need a word, and you cannot find any. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Clever, definitely not. Yeah, ambitious, and unambitious. We'll stick to that. So h6, bishop b2, bishop g4, rook e1. I'm not happy. Nate, I'm sorry. But I'm not happy with your choice here. Definitely, I mean, at least he opened this rook. Why is he moving this one? This rook belongs here to play f4. He needs this rook. If he's not going to play b4, c5, he needs to bring this rook. He needs to chase that. He needs to move the knight or knight h4 and then play here. Do not sit and wait. This game possibly could be one of those games, like a model game. We'll see. It remains to be seen, of course. Where black might just simply take control of the center and totally outplay white. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, so far I like what black's been doing. I don't know, maybe I would have liked knight d7, knight c5, because that's my favorite maneuver in chess, probably. In the Benoni. It's something I enjoy a lot to do, because you need that f pawn free. So by moving the knight, you're freeing it up. c5 is a great outpost. You're keeping the pressure here. When this bishop is going to be chased away, it's coming right on the diagonal to put pressure. And with f5 supporting e4, that looks so beautiful for black. Sorry. Okay. Well, we'll see if white finally plays c5. He still can do it now. Because black has not taken any kind of caution for stopping c5. So, I mean, if white doesn't do that, there's not much plans that white can do at this point. So we'll be back to that game. So when we left off around here, white was just capturing in d5, takes, and now d4. So I was mentioning that d4 is a nice idea, and then at some point we want to chase this knight away and give ourselves a bit more center. But still, very important when you have a double fianchetto bishops, you want to make sure that you find a way to keep them opened. And sometimes when you push too much, you risk of allowing the opponent to close them down. So you have to figure out whether e4 will have a follow-up with e5 or d5 or not. If not, maybe you can wait a bit. Can't b5 be played here, though? This? Okay, but I would be happy to make some trades with black here. I don't think you can take like this. I mean, black would be having a great position. This pawn structure is nice without this pawn here, right? So if you actually had the pawn there and somehow this knight was in there, you could bring a knight. Well, too complicated, too much should have been in the position for this to actually be good for white. At this point is bad because white's pawn structure, especially the majority on the king side, is locked. So black actually has the ability to create a pass pawn here. He just needs to support it and he will have a much better position. Why the knight c4 to e5 maneuver? Why not just play knight for e4? I know. I agree. I don't know. I don't know, actually. I don't know why he put the knight there. I think he... Well, if he goes e4 directly, then you have to play e5 too, and then you're giving the square, so you don't want it. Like, if you play e4 too soon, then you have to give up some squares. So, I don't know exactly how you want to do it, though. That's the problem. Knight d2. It's not so easy, casual, for white to get the advantage here, I think. e4 anyway? Now? Now maybe it's different. Okay, now here. And then what? Rook e1. Rook. Should I take? I can take. Now what? Yeah, you cannot play e4 to go e5. You need to play e4 to keep the pawn there. Yes, you're right. You're right, I agree. I think a5 is probably too much, right? Probably. I'm allowing some stuff. Maybe a6, b5? The position, the way it is, I think it's pretty balanced. Queen e2 rook d1, yeah. I'm not even sure. Maybe you want to switch over the rooks like this though. But yeah, makes sense. Makes a bit more sense than in the game, because in the game, no, c2 is definitely not the square for the queen. I think he's trying to do something on h7, but I don't know that he will actually have the chance to do anything on h7. Like, this is how the game went, and Black played f5. Why? What's the threat? No, I do not accept it. I do not approve. Sabina does not approve. I do not approve f5. f5, why I do not approve, if you're wondering. Bam. Bam. 2 weaknesses with 1 move. It's not 2 birds with 1 stone. Is zero birds with -2 stones. Which one should be a sticker, Dirke? Sabina does not approve. Yeah, someone can come up with some. How do I create it? I stopped creating stickers. Fine, I'll write it down for my list to do things. Stickers. Fine. I actually love that. With capital letters, like I'm yelling at them. Don't ever do that. Don't you ever. F5 is kind of it is. What does the engine say? Actually, I'm curious. The engine says Queen A8. Yeah, I like Queen A8. F5. Yep. Plus 0.9. Hulka, no. I'm doing commentary for this tournament, which is called the Space Coast Chess Festival. They're at their 30th edition. I've been commenting their tournaments for the past 3 years. So it's kind of exciting to be back. Well, I'm home, but I'm commenting the games live online from home. And yeah, so it's one of the games is board 3 of the tournament. Slap on the hand icon. Don't do that. Do I know any of these players? I do know Brajesh Chakrabarti because I did comment on his games in the past. He's been playing in the nationals for many years, and I've been doing commentary since 2019. Actually, I went down the memory lane searching for content or pictures that I had from one of my first commentaries, and it seems that I think that my first one that I had was in 2019, and it was with International Master John Bartholomew. That was one of my first commentary gigs that I got with US Chess. And I don't remember when was the first time that I saw Brajesh, but I know I've seen him throughout the years, and he's usually playing for the top places in the national tournaments. So but I do not know him personally. I don't think I've seen him before. Maybe I have. I'm sure I've seen him because I've been to those tournaments, but I don't know. I can't put the face to the name for some reason. Yeah, I need to stop this engine here, but it said, yeah, takes, bishop takes, and it says knight g5. Yeah, no, this you're creating too many weaknesses, and the problem is when you push a pawn forward and you leave something behind, then you have to push another pawn forward to leave something, to cover something that you left behind, and then something else gets weak. So, weakness It's kind of like one of those dominoes, right? You start one and then they keep going until you messed one up. And maybe it doesn't go forever. The opening for this one was some kind of English / Catalan. It started as a c4 and then transposed to Catalan, where white took in d5 first and then d4. And then that's kind of how we got into that position that you saw. We were suggesting, with casual players suggesting e4, which I kind of liked. Here, not in the other case, just to kind of hold on to the position. The queen definitely belongs in e2, I'm sure of that. And then at some point we'll see whether we'll go e5 or not. But the way the game continued... Uh-oh, what did I press? Queen b1, f5, it was definitely a weakness. Okay, it looks like Brzezinski has taken in c5. I mean, we're anticipating a piece to recapture, but then, yeah, definitely knight g5. If the knight takes, actually, we even have b4. I've seen people try this out, by the way, because they are thinking, you know what, my knight in d7 is badly placed, but if the trade happens, I take back with the knight, and then I got this outpost in the center. And they're right about that part. However, they also gave up this outpost, so usually bishop e5 is being played. You gotta go in the corner. This is not that terrible. Sometimes people do it in order to have more pressure. Say if at some point you move the knight, there will be pressure on the g2 bishop. But I don't know. I think now we should be able to somehow. Should we go queen b2, or do we have some other... Should we have this move too? Which one of those do you like? Could be a good lesson game model for bad timing. Yeah, that's right. Actually, I'm so disappointed, casual. I don't know what I did. My previous videos still have the music in the background. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I can't figure it out. I need to redo. I need to start from zero with my Streamlabs and redo everything, I think. Knight d4. Knight d4 here looks nice. Yeah, I like knight d4. That's nothing's gonna happen here, I think, yet. Should be safe. Those squares are controlled. Yeah, actually, how do you protect this? You have no way of protecting. This is sad. Sad story. Oh, knight takes c5 was actually played. So we might actually see our line. We might see our line b4. b4 is goody. Knight here directly, I don't know. Because we're not actually attacking yet. Maybe they can go here. So that you don't go b4. So definitely b4 is a must. It's a must. It's a good kind of must. Well, I can try g4 when? G? Like G. But how are you going to get to h7? You would only play g4 if you can get h7, right? Oh, here. Oof. Really? Nah. Nah, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I'm sorry, but I don't believe it. Sabina does not approve. Where's that sticker? I need to make it. Seriously, now you gave me something to do. I need to figure out. I forgot how to make stickers, but I have Canva now, so maybe I'll just go on Canva and figure it out. Put some Sabina picture and then stamp not approved. How do we discover here? Knight c3 or f4? No, because c3 you take there. Okay, knight f4, I protect. Protect, and then I want to take, and then I want to take. So you gotta go back here to protect this. But then I take. This is looking bad. Not good. Not goody. Check. How do I mate you here? Takes queen f4, or do I take with the rook? Maybe this you can protect somehow. The queen c3 or something. Wait, but if I take with the rook, isn't that better? Because then I have queen g4 check. I think I have mate there. This is kind of a gorgeous idea. I need to show if it actually works. I have check and check and his mate. I don't even think you have a defense. Does the engines find a defense here? No. Mate in 4, it says. No. Spice up. No. Casual. I'm not trying to make you feel bad. No. I'm just saying, like, it's you're not ready to make it because you see, like, the those pieces. It's basically what black wants. Black is praying, please play g4, please, so that I have something to do on that side, because that's the only way, like, why I would say f5 makes any sense. He wants to play f5, f4. This is basically black's idea in my mind. I've done something like that before in the past in similar kind of positions. So I feel that when you're playing with black, you just want to go for it because you think, oh, it's gonna be nice. But it was a spicy line. Listen, when else are we gonna see such a gorgeous mate, huh? It's fine. We approve that line. Just only that line, not this one. This line. We approve this mate. This mate is approved. This is kind of like those presidential debates, you know. My name is this, and I approve this message. Saying something bad about another candidate. It's the only thing that I know. Listen, when else are we gonna see this kind of a cute mate? And I need to show it, because it's, like, way too cute not to show. Queen and knight mate. Anyways, Brajesh is thinking here, so we will be back. I will be... Oh! What has happened here? We literally left... How did that... What? Wait, this is... Oh my god. So, black played knight c6 to attack the pawn, and white has to just protect it. a3, rook b1. But white just gave up... Oh my goodness. No, there's nothing. Oh, I don't like this. Paul, hey. Yeah, I think the live should send you to it. Right? I don't have the list with the pairings. They didn't give it to me, and I forgot to ask. That was my bad. I will get it by tomorrow. But if you want to read more about the tournament, then this is the other link for the tournament. So I guess white felt that by getting rid of black's h7 pawn, he would be able to have some ideas. But you see, we got a problem. That pawn is going to be weak. And if black manages to... I think you probably... Rose should take. And then at some point we need to find a way to get this move in to open things up. And someone was mentioning earlier about the king in the center. This is a different story. I think it was someone was Z, who he also subscribed, or she. Zeal? I think Zeal suggested earlier, I was mentioning the king in the center. Now, if you are still here, Zeal, and you're watching, I want you to compare the position that from earlier to this one, where actually white's king is going to be in danger once the center opens up. Like, this will be for real danger. Black's king, on the other hand, despite the fact that the h-pawn is gone, is not that bad, because white does not have pieces to attack it. So when you consider a king being weak, you need to consider whether they have sufficient pieces protecting them, and how many pieces of the opponent really have the opportunity to go to attack it. In this case, none. 0. So, black's king is perfectly fine. You want to have that kind of a king. So, unfortunately for white, he went for a sack that was not quite ideal. The position is right here, and the both players are thinking. Okay, so it looks like Nick has finally decided to put the knight in c3. Then go for e4. I like that. Knight, rook d1. Okay, very nice. Queen e7. Typical. And now e4, yeah? Mm-hmm. Okay. So what is he thinking? He's trying to decide, should I take or should I stay or should I go? I thought there was a song like that. Sorry, got distracted. So we can go knight here and take it, or we can take it directly. Which do we choose? I would do this, because now there's no c5. So if they go knight f6, we go right back. If they go c5, we're thinking knight e4 or knight g5 or knight d2. What knight d2? No, knight d2. No, I really, I never saw people putting the knight in d2. They usually put it here because you're attacking that pawn. Here, really? It's very rare that I've seen a knight going here. Maybe you're right, maybe it's possible, I don't know. Maybe it is possible. Have I played against Rose? No, I have not played against Rose. Maybe you're right. Maybe knight d2 is... But if you have to choose between knight g5 and knight d2, why would you choose knight d2 though, casual? Oh, knight g5 was played. Maybe... c5? See why you like the knight here better, casual? Because you have your... Yeah. Yeah. But, you know, if you have to compare the two, unless you figure out that you're dropping something, you usually want to go for the more active one, I think, in general. But okay, you're right. I mean, you have to consider maybe knight d2 also. But sometimes we take too much time considering a few extra moves that, like, it doesn't necessarily make sense to do that, you know? We might as well just not consider those moves and just kind of play a bit faster, because, you know. But I don't know how much advantage white has here. Probably black wants to take everything. I don't know how you want to take back. You'll stay with the bishop pair, but the question is how important is this? I think this is quite equal. c5 is a very important move for black to be played to equalize. Oftentimes, if you don't play c5, you risk of allowing white at some point playing c5 themselves, and that's gonna, it's not about, you know, pushing your bishop back, but it's about leaving that bishop dead, restricted by the pawn in c6. So usually you wanna wait. So we'll have to go back and see what's happening in this game, because we left it off around here, and I was kind of excited about a potentially nice attacking game, but will we have that? White decided to go for the short castle and black played e5. I like e5. So now that e5 was played, how does white plan to deal with that? Because taking is not going to bring you much. This would be good for black, I think. And with a bishop and f2, my only idea not to help with the Luft in that game, but they cannot do Luft. You're happy if they do, because they're not playing c5. No c5, no problem. Now I play here with tempo. By the way, you can't play c5 because I think you're losing, right? If you go c5, it's a blunder. So this I would like with white. If this were to happen, I would be happy, because you know what? Well, maybe you just don't take after knight takes c4. But okay, if you do take, oi, c5 is happening. It's definitely happening. Queen e2, c5, queen g4. We're going for the attack. For sure. No, I still think that this was more forcing, because you don't have time for c5 because this is hanging. So I'd be happy to take it. So after knight e4, if takes, you don't have time for c5 again. So you have to do something like, well, if you want knight f6. I know sometimes people wait and just kind of sit like that, so then you can go to c1 and try to kind of prep it. But then I played something like this, and someone played bishop a3, traded, and it wasn't so clear how I could get the advantage. Though the difference between this game and mine was that my bishop was not fianchettoed, but probably doesn't matter. Because if knight f6 happens, as I showed earlier, the queen goes back to c2 in order to control this push, and we do want to push it to restrict the bishop in b7. Okay, so not much there. Let's go back. Oh, f5. f5 was played. We stopped around here, right? Ah, queen g5 was played first. Okay, makes sense. So black played queen g5 first, attacking the pawn, and now f5 with the idea knight f6 or rook f6 g6. Quite a bit of unpleasantries here for black. We need to make sure we do something about those two pieces, though. That would be nice if we did something about it. So white needs to do something on the queen side. Should we take? If black doesn't have a threat, we could go rook c7 to hold the pressure there, and then bring this other rook. f4. Yeah, but you know, what I love about my queen in b3, not only have I put pressure and I'm trying to kind of have this kind of threat, by the way, it doesn't work right now because you have the queen in g5. If you didn't, I would have knight takes, queen takes d5, check, knight. But what I love about this is the fact that now my queen has opened up, so I can actually bring it to the defense, queen g3 or queen e3. So I think white, for the time being, will be quite safe. Probably. Definitely. Definitely, maybe. That was a movie. It was actually nice, I think. This actually happened. This happened. Oh, you said... Oh, sorry, you were talking about white, casual. I'm so sorry. I misread. I thought you meant black should play f4. I'm so sorry. I misread it. White should play f4? But I'm not so worried about the attack, but... Takes... You want to take with the knight or with the bishop if I take en passant? You probably take with the knight, huh? Yeah, I'm so sorry. I misread it. I thought you meant black should play that. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. The queen in g5 was a bit too much for black, probably. It was unnecessary. He could have played f5 directly. The queen there, yeah, it kind of helps. Because if the queen wasn't there and you didn't take with tempo, at least maybe I had f4. I would get something, but this way... And now you want to play queen b3? Just something like this. Yeah, white's doing okay. White's doing pretty well. They blocked all the threat. Yeah, there's nothing too big. I really think queen g5 was a bit too soon. I think we were suggesting f5 here earlier. And then something, I don't know. Like, queen g5 kind of helped white castle, and you don't have pieces to follow up the attack with. Maybe he could have done this to attempt bishop h3. And now it makes sense, because now if you... But okay, I mean, f4 is still an option. And then you got rook f2 to cover the mate. Hey, Pei. I'm just gonna call you Pei. No, this is quite balanced. Okay, so white has finally played c5. Good for Nate. I'm not rooting for anyone, by the way. At this point, I like seeing good moves being played, you know, I'm commenting on the moves. I want it to be clear, because sometimes I had people, I remember actually in the past, I think it was for this tournament or some other tournament that I did commentary for, and one of the players heard that I don't know what I said about the game, and he thought that I said about him, and he started arguing with me on stream. I don't know if you guys remember. Maybe it was for Cherry Blossom or something. And I was like, no, I'm just commenting on the move, just to be clear, okay? This is this is what you have to do as a commentator. You have to judge the moves that are being played. You know, that does not make anyone per se good, bad, you know, does not have any negative impact, you know, it's just the moves. We want to see good moves. We want to see good plans being followed. We want to see improvement. We want to see restriction style. We want to see space. We want to see attacks. I want to see all of those things. I don't know about you guys. So hopefully you want to see the same thing. That's why you're here. Bishop c7, knight c4. Okay, so he's improved the position of his knight. That's good. But now the rook here is bad. This rook should have been there. So this rook would be here. And then we could go f4. Maybe he still wants, but how is he going to play f4? There's no way. There's no way white's going to play f4 now. But at least black cannot play e4, so bishop h3. Well, at least there's a good thing about having the rook there. You can go bishop h1. Just don't trade. Do not allow the trade. If you allow the trade, you're going to be in trouble, man. Please don't allow. Just go bishop h1. Well, we'll be back to see if he plays bishop h1. Brejesh has played b4 as per our suggestion. And now the knight is coming, very likely. Or no, was this the move we suggested? I think it was this, right? Or no, sorry, bishop a5 first. Sorry, bishop e5. Very important Zwischenzug, in between move. And then we do that. Back to that position. Bishop h1, f5. No cause for alarm. Your knight is not protected. And you opened up. I don't know why I'm whispering. Sounded weird. Even for me, it sounded weird. Let's do something about that knight. Can I play b4? I want to do that. Oh, can I play knight d6, actually? Wow. Knight d6. Ah, that looks nice. Because if you take, I take first, and then I win a piece, obviously. So you gotta move the knight, or you gotta protect it. But if you protect it, then I got queen c4, and I'm attacking it again. And I'm attacking b7, by the way, too. No, I take your rook. Uh-oh, this is a problem. I take your rook. You can't. You can't do that. You cannot. Knight c3 there? No. I take it. Freebie. Right? How do I do this? Can I take? Maybe I win a pawn. A pawn in hand is better than a pawn on the fence. I don't know how that saying goes. Bishop c5. I'm not winning a pawn. Come on. Knight c3. Oh, wait. What's... I'm silly. I take. You take. I take. I'm attacking a rook. Again. You can't do that. Casual. So f5, no. Not approved. If only I had that emote, because it sounds so funny. No, but why do you want to play f5? Let's prep it a bit. I don't know how. This knight is annoying. Maybe rook d8? Then f5? I feel like that would work. But you know, black has allowed quite a bit of things which I'm not a fan of. Yasser once said, just click the pieces as they're not ours, since we are just using the player's piece. Exactly, yeah. Totally. And we can always go back. We are never wrong in commentary. That's big. Just remember that. You're never wrong as a commentator. What's thinking? What is he thinking about? Do you guys know that joke? There's a joke. It's not too funny, but it's kind of funny. It's about like when they made a joke. Apparently, when the Titanic was sinking, they passed one of those SOS messages, and they were saying, "Mayday, Mayday, we're sinking, we're sinking." And it was a German ship that heard the SOS, and the guy who heard it said, "What are you thinking about?" It's much funnier when you actually see the video. Otherwise, me and my explanations don't really go as good. Anyways, we'll be back. He played bishop e5. Okay, Brzezic has heard us. This looks good. Okay, a couple more moves have been played in Rose's game. So she did take in c5, very nice. And now she played bishop f6. But bishop f6 does help a little bit white to bring that rook to a better location. But now, what is she gonna do next? Is she planning on going e5 and then d4 or something? I feel like that is something she could consider doing. Try to get more space. Gagues, hola, ¿cómo estás? Bienvenido a mi stream. e5, she did play e5. Okay, that's what she wanted. Okay. So we'll see bishop g3, and then the plan after we'll have to wait and see. What about Nick? Nick had found... Wait, h6 was actually played, Casual. He played the move you suggested, but this is good for white. Because that move is not possible for a while because we take and the bishop is hanging. So pretty much white just needs to figure out ways to improve the position. The question is, where do you want this rook? Do you want to switch this rook over somewhere back to f1, e1, and then this to d1, or do you want to put this to c1 and try to play c5? That is the question here for white. What to choose? I should have made this red so that you guys don't think that's possible because of this. Yeah, we can switch over. Maybe we'll have d5 ideas too. This looks good for white. What happened here? So, white ended up going knight b5 along the capture. Who is better in this position? Probably black, right? Oh my god, Ben Feingold and Karen, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome, guys. I hope you had a great stream. I'm WGM Sabina Foisor. You probably know already because Ben told you whom he's raiding, or Karen. And I'm currently doing commentary. For the 30th edition of the Space Coast Open Chess Festival, which takes place in Florida. And I'll be covering the tournament for the entire weekend. Now they're playing round 1. There are a couple of GMs who are supposed to play in the tournament right now for this round. None of them are playing, so probably they will be joining tomorrow for the 2-day schedule. But I will be here for the entire weekend. So tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. and then 4:30, and then for Sunday 10:30 a.m. and 3:30. And then as long as the game lasts, I will be live. So appreciate you guys being here. If you enjoyed the stream, feel free to give me a follow so that you know when I go live in the future. That would also help me get 5,000 followers, because that was my goal for 3 months. It has not happened, so you know, it would be nice to reach some kind of number that's bigger than anywhere else on my socials, but all cool. Thanks for following, Camila. Okay, so what do we have here? Seriously, because I think black is doing well. Like, if this knight moves, where does it move? Does it go back here? And then can we go rook d8? I suddenly don't like white's position anymore because black got rid of his weakness, his d6 weakness, and this pawn is more powerful than anything else, and then white's pawn here in e4 is actually weak. So I'm thinking rook d8, discovery, the knight comes to e5, will come to g4, and whenever you expected less, you know, a gorgeous mating idea could be this knight can come to g4, then suddenly out of nowhere f3. Bam! You think we're attacking the bishop, but guess what? No, we're actually threatening mate. So that's going to be kind of an unpleasant idea. The black has certainly at least thought about for a little bit, for just a little bit, because yeah, that's quite unpleasant. I thought I was kind of excited for this game for white because they started with f4 and everything, but it seems like it might end up being more exciting for black after all. What else have we got back onto this board? Yeah, black black is a bit over optimistic to his chances of attacking white's king. There's nothing here. Knight g4 will always be met with bishop takes g4. So there's not much that we need to be worried about. We also can just play g3 here, chase the queen away. You can also go rook here, and if you go knight g4, well, actually here, can we take first? Yeah, we can take first. There's no way for black to put much pressure. I like rook c1. I like rook c7 too, getting a bit of activity. I think that would be nice. g3, like I said. Yeah, black is simply attacking with the queen. You need to remember, oftentimes when we see the opponent getting ready to attack us, we start seeing ghosts. We start feeling that there's going to be something very serious going on, and we start panicking and making weaknesses. Like h3 would be the kind of weakness that you could make. It's really not necessary because you're just weakening the g3 square, right? So the queen can just infiltrate, or maybe g5 can be played at some point. There's no need. If there's no clear threat, just focus on your plan. And looking at the pawn structure, right? This pawn is more advanced than this. This is the king side. That's where black has more space. That's the side of the board he should focus on. White should focus on the queen side because the c file is opened, and that's where they have more space due to the opening of the file. So they have to focus on activating the rook and kind of infiltrating by circling around the opponent. It's typically how it works. So white's position is definitely better here. Looks like... so bishop h1 was played and knight f4. This is a wow move for me. I did not think about that. We did look at f5 a bit, which was a suggestion by Casual, but knight f4. Wow, what is happening? I mean, black is just playing with this little trap here. Obviously, you cannot take because you're gonna get mated, but you know, you cannot play like that. White is a pretty strong player. He's a 2000. He's not gonna fall for the trap to take the knight. And your knight will eventually be captured if you leave it there for too long. So what happened? 94. Okay, and now what? What is black's follow-up? Obviously, we're still... No, actually, are we threatening to take? Like, let's just put some random move. Are we actually threatening to take here? Because I think here we can cover. I think we're actually threatening to take. So 94 was just a waste of time. Try to be mindful about your attacks. Just try to make sure you actually have threats. Or else oftentimes you're gonna wind up with your pieces entangled or hanging. And you won't be knowing what to do after. I wonder if he's thinking about Queen G4? But there's still no threat there. I don't really see a threat. Like, it's not even working. Some strange threat, but it doesn't even work if you just, like, let me would be something like this, but it still doesn't work. Like, okay, if you take with the rook, but even this, I think, I don't need to take, I can do this, and you have only perpetual. So there's no real threat that I can think of here for black after... But what does white do? Okay, so let's activate our knight, right? Which knight do we put to d6? Probably this one, right? Because this one still puts pressure. We have the rook, yeah. I think black messed up here. Wasted a bit of time. And we're not liking it. Rook e6. Okay, I see his idea. I see what he's trying to do. Okay. So he played rook e6. I don't see what he's trying to do. Rook g6, I guess. He's controlling the d6 square. He's thinking rook g6. Or maybe he's thinking h5, h4. Rook g6, h5, h4. That could be an idea. Well, at least white's giving him... white's giving black a bit of, you know, something to be worried about. Before c5 was played, it was kind of passive for white, but now that the knight is nicely placed, now that this other knight is nicely placed, black needs to be mindful about white's potential ideas, and, you know, it's not easy. It's not easy being me. It's gonna get spicy soon. It's gonna get spicy soon, and the players are getting low on time, so that's it's a good moment to expect some spiciness. Okay, Brajesh has listened to us. Well, metaphorically speaking, obviously he cannot, because we're behind by 10-15 minutes. There's a delay. But knight d4 is the move that we suggested earlier. Very beautiful. Finally, like a great combination of, or placement of the pieces. Dahlia Chess, hey, how are you doing? Great to see you here. Great support for that, and I don't even know how you protect, because basically if you do this, I think we can go b5, knight c6. Imagine that domination if a knight gets to c6. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm not even taking this. I probably can take that knight, but I don't care about the knight. How's my stream going? It's going well. It's going well. I'm currently commenting on the 30th edition of the Space Coast Open. Some interesting games so far. We don't have any GMs though right now, so I don't know what's going on, but we will tomorrow, very likely. Very likely, and we have some interesting positions. I'm expecting some spiciness coming soon, some tactics. For now, they're still coming out of the opening. You know, better positions. How come he doesn't have that much time? When did he spend all his time? He had an hour. What? Is the time correct? He spent 20 minutes, 18 minutes to play b4. 4 minutes to play that. That's too much. Okay, guys. If you're an adult improver and you're struggling with managing time, please learn from this. Do not do this. Look at this position. We have this position, okay? Where position is about equal. Yeah? It's about equal. Came out of the opening, we did not get anything. That's okay. Suddenly, our opponent plays the move f5. This is a move we have not thought about, but we can clearly tell that this is a mistake. Because it weakens e6, it weakens e5. All right, this is a moment you can spend time. This is one of those critical moments. It's not critical in the sense you're going to lose if you don't make something, but it's the kind of critical moment where you want to make as good of a decision as you can to get as much advantage, because that is clearly a mistake, right? So you can afford to spend, what did he spend here? Like 6 minutes. Okay, he could have spent 10 minutes here thinking about what he's gonna do, maybe. But I mean, d takes c5 I think was kind of obvious. I think you didn't need to even spend. No, you can play this move directly because this is the most natural way that you have to play here with white, because obviously black might be thinking to take. So yeah, so this move maybe a couple of minutes. And after they take, yes, this is a moment you can spend more time. You can figure out what you're going to do, because you notice the knight is coming towards e4. You notice they might try to push that pawn forward. Like, this is a moment you can think, but I don't even know how, because b4 seems kind of obvious. Like, okay, you can spend 10 minutes. But you should calculate all the line. Like, b4 is not that hard. Knight moves, tempo, no other move for black. He cannot come on the c file. You're going to win material. Goes there, and you need to come up with a move that you're going to play here. So you can make these moves fast. I'm not... If Brzezisz was my student, I would not be happy with it. This is just a detail I want to mention. It's not, you know, maybe he just... You know, we don't know what's going on with him, right? Maybe he's tired. Maybe he just had school. Who knows? But I just want you to realize how easily time can pass without us even acknowledging it. Because I'm sure he knows he's much better, possibly winning. Or much better. But you see how easily it is to spend the time? I mean, look at the time. Just look at white's time. That's all I want you to do. Look at white's time. So, like, f5, after f5, right? 58. 40. 4 minutes to play this move. What other candidate move could he have had here? Because that seems like a nice one. Knight d4. Okay. 6 minutes. No, sorry. 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Almost 10 minutes for this move. It's so easy to lose the time, and there's nothing even to calculate in this position. It's about placing your pieces on better squares. And I've made this mistake so many times on my own too. That's why I'm pointing it out, because we really don't realize sometimes how fast time passes. We just wasted so much time. And okay, it might not matter in this game, but in others it can. And suddenly you get into an endgame, you are a pawn up, you're supposed to be winning, but you need time to figure out the correct plan. And guess what? You ain't got no time, you know? like, obviously I know that's not correctly grammatically, it was just supposed to sound funny. You don't have any time to figure out how to win. So for his sake, I hope he plays a bit faster from now on. He does have a close to winning position here. And yeah, it's kind of impossible to protect here. Maybe he doesn't, maybe he plays better with time trouble, I wouldn't know. But if you happen to be one of those players that struggles, write down your time, pay attention to where you're spending it, and try to remember what exactly you spend the time for. Because sometimes we're really sitting at a position and we're thinking about what we're gonna eat tomorrow. Oh, what should I cook? Oh, what's going on with my, you know, my cat. Is my cat gonna be okay? Am I gonna have food? Am I so many things that can come to your mind. No, try to bring all your thoughts back into the game and make the best decisions you can while you're ahead. And what happened here? Okay, so Rose did play c6. I don't like c6, but she has to kind of protect. She's probably gonna, yeah, bishop a6. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, after playing c6, she does close down her bishop, so she does need to do something about it. So yeah, bishop here makes perfect sense. Okay, so now in this position, okay, these two players have spent relatively about the same amount of time, which is nice, because now, you know, like if you're not much lower than your opponent, then you're good. So now it's a moment where you have gained a bit more space, and you got to figure out what's your worst place piece and what are you gonna do to improve it. This is the worst place piece. So something like this, maybe. Or maybe we move the bishop, but bishop e7, knight f6, d7. No, but then this hangs, so you can't really. Probably knight c7, e6 would be something I'd consider for black. Rook d1. It's got no threats. You like knight c7? Yeah. Yeah, it's a nice improvement idea. I mean, at least knight c7 so that the rook can come out. And then you can see. Also, you know, if you go actually knight c7, what I love about black's position is the fact that the entire b file is locked, so white doesn't actually have the way to get activated. I mean, maybe if you go knight c7, something like this could happen, but then I think you can just protect it. Can you go queen d7 or to protect it? You know what I would have loved to do if I had some time to go rook e8, rook e6 to protect that pawn? Then I would consider to go bishop h4 to trade the bishop, and then actually black can consider pushing the f pawn potentially. I mean, it could be something to consider to do, I think, because you know you're trying to gain a bit more space on that side of the board. Ah, she played knight c7. She played it. Nice. Yeah, I like knight c7. But I mean, even if you don't have time for that, no, queen a4. Queen a4 is annoying me. How serious is it? Is that capture? Is the question. It is serious. I wish the queen could could go to d7 to protect, but also try to go to bishop h4, you know? But you cannot do both. Oh, queen e8, but queen e8, then you cannot go bishop h4. Would we consider this move? Probably not, right? Okay, so at least we close the b file, but white can always go back somewhere and then try to play a4 and then activate. Yeah. No, I would not play play bishop b5. And knight b5 you cannot because your bishop is hanging. Is there a difference between queen d7 and queen e8? Maybe not, right? Because maybe queen e8, because if they go rook d1, then at least we won't be on the file. Maybe we should go here then. I still struggling to figure out how black will improve here. Queen e8, queen e6. Maybe rook b8 trade. What is white's breakthrough? This is not gonna work, but maybe f4. But any f4 we take, so oops, sorry, with the pawn. This will be nice. This will be kind of nice for us. Queen a4, bishop e2, knight e2. But why do we want to take? I mean, this knight doesn't do anything. Why would we want to take it? I don't know. I wouldn't want to take it just yet. But yeah, sure, you can take it. Queen a4 actually was played. So you were saying queen a4, bishop e2, knight e2, queen d7. It's just like, I can at least wait at least one more move before I can take that. Like, wait for them to move the rook, then I can take if I really want to take. Otherwise, I wouldn't take, as the bishop... I mean, black has the bishop pair. So it's not like the bishop is about to be traded. It's not like this knight has some genius square outpost that's annoying. We can just leave it there. And what if I go rook b7, actually? Followed by rook b1, I think this should be good. For white. You're giving me some chances here. No. No, don't give up the bishop. The bishop is good. We're keeping the bishop for the time being. You know what I'm thinking? Maybe queen d7. Queen d7, bishop c4, a6, knight b5. It takes forever, but I don't care. I just want to make sure the b file is closed. And I'm trading something if we really want to have some trade. But yeah, I feel like we can definitely do that, right? Like, it's something we can do for sure. Bishop c4. It takes forever, though. Takes way too long. Queen e8 was played. Okay. She did go. We looked at that. We looked at that, but I just don't see exactly how she's gonna continue. Maybe same way. Bishop here. a6. Shut down the file. But the problem is we're not really shutting it down because white still has the a pawn. So whenever you think you finally shut it down, out of nowhere, bam, a4 comes in and GG. Not GG, but like they activate. So, you know, you think you're getting there, but you're not. Okay, we'll be back. I will be back. b5. No. No. C5 is the move you have to figure out how to play. a5, bishop a6, b5. I don't know. I really want to do this. I really want to do this. And then something like this. I don't know. Somehow. It's not ideal. It's not ideal because I give that square. I realize it. I'm thinking. I rushed. But that would be basically what we wanted. She will find a way. I'm sure she'll find a way to activate her queen. She just had to protect c6 temporary. It wasn't... Like, you don't really want to give up that square. Once you make sure... Sorry, you don't want to give up that pawn. Once you make sure that pawn is protected, you'll be fine. You will be fine. Yeah. So, b5... What about a4? a4, b4, 92. Takes. Okay, let's try a4. Now what? b5, knight c5 anyway, trying to open. No, but I like this. Why don't you like this idea? What do we do now? 92 or do we take? Taking, we're trading, but at least that bishop doesn't get into play. Then we can play c5. Because now there's no knight that can go there. Later, we'll play c5. Or at least we don't play, but we could also try this. I have some ideas. Rook e1. Nick decided, you know what? I don't care. Take if you want. I don't care. Sure, that's a possibility, certainly. Then we'll have queen b3, and if you go bishop a6, we'll have queen a4 attacking. We also have knight a4, knight c5. Sure, this is fine. I like that he switched over, because I didn't feel like there's something needs to be done with this rook, and I don't think it belongs on the c file. So yeah, rook e1 is actually nice, because now with the pawn in f4, f5 idea to break open and weaken black's pawn structure there would be nice, and then this other rook can come to d1, so that will be nice. If that actually happens, it will be pretty nice, I think. Yeah. Okay. And here, black's looks quite nice. So what have we had? So queen b8, knight e5, queen e5, nice. Go away knight. Okay. Pressure. See how much easier it is for black to put pressure there than it is for white to put somewhere? King h1, rook d1, yeah. Black is doing great. Rooks on central files, bishops putting pressure. Oopsie. Bishops putting pressure, knight putting pressure. This looks nice, certainly. It does. It certainly does. We like this. This is goody for black. Which other game you want us to go back to? Which one of these games you like the most? You feel that we should focus on more? British. Dr. Poppies. Okay. Sounds good, Dr. Poppies. I try my very best. My bestest. Nothing happened since we last stopped. So it looks like his opponent is taking the time. But he should spend the time earlier before he played f5. Because that was too much of a... Ooh. This position, this is board 1. Remember how I felt that black kind of overextended there, like, you know, it looked like f5 was gonna do something, but it doesn't. And definitely queen g5 is too much. The queen does not have anything to attack there. Okay, so g3 was actually played. I was telling you there's nothing that's happening here. Okay, whites should just go rook c1. I mean, this bishop cannot really get developed. It can develop there, but maybe this and this. Or queen a4. Like that. Queen a4 like puts pressure. Freebie. We're happy to take all freebies. Not we, me, it's just me. But, you know, the chat also is happy, I guess. Queen c6 is also very unpleasant. Knight g4, by the way, I already mentioned to you. I can, anytime can take. I also have this knight that can go to f1, but if I feel insecure, and I do feel very insecure in real life, but laughing at my own jokes. What have I gotten to? What point have I gotten to? Insecure about your king safety, you can just take it. But if you don't feel insecure and you're one of those more confident people, you can just go knight f1 and you'll be even more confident. Stop doing that, Toast. Oh my god, is that a command? Stop laughing at my own jokes. I should not do it. How dare I? Indeed. Stop joking. We don't want to see you joking. Be serious, Sabina. What is this? What is this? We're here to learn. Oh, feeling insecure. Oh, I thought you were saying laughing at my own jokes. See, that I speak too much. By the time someone types something, I'm already at another completely different theme. I can't speak too slow. Like, I should be on slow motion, you know. Hello. Then you guys won't hear anything. Stop being insecure. How can I stop being insecure? Do you have any advice? I'm happy to take any advice about being insecure. I'm not very good at that. But if you have any advice, feel free to give it because, you know, it's something I've been struggling for a while. No advice? Okay. It's easier said than done, you know? I tell myself that every day, but it doesn't work. I don't trust people. I have no trust. Rook c1. Yeah, that's what we said. So now I don't know what black's gonna do now. This looks good for white. Queen b5 or queen a4. Definitely queen a4. That's my go-to move. Queen a4. Bam. 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 Queen b5, I don't know. Queen b5, I also have some ideas to retreat, but... No advice. Sad. Whatever happened? Nate suddenly? Eric will slowly torture his opponent. Yeah, in the other game, definitely. But what about this game? I thought black was better. I don't see better for black anymore. Black has got literally nothing on the king side. Like, nothing. Like, minus nothing. What is he doing? There's no threat there with rook g6. White is threatening b5, b6. knight d6, b5, knight d6, take the pawn, open the bishop. Oopsie. Wait, what did I do? Bam. I got so mad at this situation. Like, how did black allow all this? He was doing so much better. Like, listen, I suggested the right thing. He didn't do it. Bishop g4. I don't even know why he put it there. But anyways, guys, simple chess. Knight d7, knight c5. Affirmations do work for insecurity, but if you're like me, you have to trick yourself into doing them. It's like playing chess with your... But as a stronger player, you will win, right? Okay. So, basically, I should tell myself that people actually like me when they actually don't? How does that part work? Or no, I overthink. The reason I'm insecure is because I overthink. No matter what you tell me, I'll overthink and I'll not believe you. So I don't know how I can do that. I should just tell myself that I believe you. I believe you. You're smart. You got this. Don't let anyone tell you anything bad about yourself. They really mean it, although they don't. I don't know. When... You know, just being told that, I've been told that so many times. Actually, I'm very good at giving advice. I will give you the same advice to you. You know? Be positive. Do this, do this. As a coach, I'm pretty good at it. But for myself is the harder part. The way I'm working on myself these days is I have this student who reminds me so much of myself when I was growing up. I was really very... It was a very insecure. I'm better now. I'm better. Okay, sometimes, but and every time she does something that I did as a kid, I tell her, listen, I know exactly what you mean. No, you won't say that. You will never say that again. You hear me? No, let's work on this positive thing. Let's look at the positives. Like, I always do that. It just doesn't work with myself. That's the only thing. I'm very tough on myself because I think that I think as a kid I didn't feel that people were proud of me, like specifically my dad. I didn't think he was proud of me sometimes. And because of that, I just developed this thing that no matter what I did, it was not good enough. So I always have to do more to be better. And, well, I've been reading a lot of books about it. It's not easy. But I gotta read more. I gotta start trusting people again, I guess. Knight e5. Nice. Nice. Bishop c1. And suddenly, white gets everything. If black had played that move, knight d7. Don't allow c5. Just don't do it. f5, e4. That's your plan. It's the side of the board you gotta play on. He did not touch the f-pawn. I mean, listen, you gotta touch the f-pawn sometimes. I know Ben Feingold says no, and he rated me, and I have a lot of respect for him. And I like his advice, but I still have exceptions. I always follow his rule, but I give a little bit of exceptions. You touch the f-pawn after you castled. That's my only exception to Ben's rule, which I totally agree with. But if you castled, you gotta play it. Well, you may need to, so don't forget to play it. Not before you castle. Before you castle could be very dangerous. Very dangerous. Totally agree with him. But after, you can do it occasionally. And black did not do it here. And I'm not liking what he has. I don't see any threats. This is super well protected. But white's plan with b5 is unstoppable. And we still have that outpost. Now the e file opened up too. The bishop opened up. I don't know. Okay. It's hard to be positive after I lost in 15 moves. Listen! Of course you can do it! You could have lost in 10! Think about it! You could have lost in 6! I know people who lost in 6! And pretty strong people, so listen. You've done better. That's the positive. Right there. Easy. That one was easy. You didn't even like, you know, you basically hit the ball to the net, and then I was just ready to do an ace thing, like in tennis. I don't know how it's called. Hopefully it's explained right. The direct approach doesn't work. There are tricks. Okay, feel free to share more tricks. Is Ryan playing to bring the queen to g4 and push h5, h4? But how? He just played bishop g5. g4. He just played bishop g4. How do you... Where do you move the bishop to get the queen to g4? I mean, yeah, I like h5, h4, but I just like... I played in the game. I lost some move 15, but that wasn't why I lost. No, listen. f6, f-pawn push, okay, is fine. The f-pawn push. Pushing the f-pawn is good. Sometimes. Not always, okay? That's what I want you to remember. Not always. Most of the time it's not. So, you know, you gotta listen to Ben. He knows what he's talking about. There are specific openings, though, that are exceptions. In my mind and my teaching methodology, the way I like to teach, is remind everyone that rules, as you get to be stronger, they adjust to your knowledge, and you can bend those rules a little bit. You cannot do it when you first start playing chess. You have to follow the rules exactly as you're told. But as you improve, you should know that you can bend those rules. I do not know why he did not touch the f-pawn. I'm liking White's position super much here. Actually, what does the engine say here? 1.4. 1.4 for White. Instead of bishop h3 to g4, White can go... You still have no threat. I mean, I don't understand. What do you want to do now? b6 is coming. b6, knight d6, and I take. I mean, you have no threat even if you play this. Because, you know, you take, I take back, and you still cannot take here. It's just the problem. It's kind of a huge problem. And I don't know how to fix it. Then what? You don't know what tricks will work for me, but I can tell you that what tricks... Anything that stops you immediately responding to an affirmation or the negation, they cancel it out. Got it. So what do we do? I don't... You need to move the knight somewhere. Here, to try to come to f5. But it's just like, you know, if you get to play here, this cannot be safe. And then I go knight d6. I do not see a follow-up here for you, casual. I think this is looking very, very bad for poor black. This is the current position. At least he traded some pieces so his bishop didn't get killed in b8, but now if white plays his... Oh, wait, not yet. Not yet. Maybe knight d2 first. How bad is this, actually? No, I wouldn't want to get the exchange and have my king weak. No, let's go... let's not go c6 here after bishop e5. Let's go knight d2 or rook c1. Maybe rook c1 or knight d2. Right? That could help. Okay, we'll be back to this game. I can see the Nate is taking a bit too much time potentially, so we'll have to be back and see what's happening here. Oh, okay, we gotta move here, bishop f6, and Brzezinski is spending a lot of time again. Okay, this is a moment where you gotta figure things out, but knight takes e6 seems like the move to play, right? Because if they take the bishop... Oh. Never mind. I guess it's not. Why didn't he take? Was he afraid of this? Which rook do we take? Okay, because if you take the bishop, then this will happen, obviously. So, but we first take a rook. F8 or which one? Maybe this, because we threaten the bishops. They have to take us back. With the rook or queen. I mean, I'm sure white is doing great. I think we have... Oh, doesn't this look so gorgeous? Smothered mate. Oops, sorry. Smothered mate. Yeah, game over. Could have happened that fast. No, I made the silly moves for black. Yeah, I just wanted to show you the smothered mate. That was one of the first mates that I learned as a kid. And I learned chess. And I was so amazed by it. Like, what? You can checkmate with a knight? Really? But knight is not so valuable? How do you checkmate with it? What? You sack your queen? That's crazy. Sure. One time I sacked it and the opponent could take with the queen. And I was like, uh-oh. That was not a good idea. Okay, queen b2 is a nice prophylactic kind of move. Covering d2, I like it. I like it. The pawn is still to be captured. So the question is what happens if he protects, though? But why didn't he go for that line, though? Wait, I still didn't get it. What am I missing? 92 doesn't work. Knight c3? Then you could go queen b2. I mean, I'm not worried about it. I think he could have taken. He could have taken here. Okay, looks like Rose has found... Listen, wasn't this what I suggested? Queen e7. Ah, she played bishop e7. Okay, that move I did not see. Okay, queen... I really wanted to trade the dark square bishop, but okay, she went there and now bishop c4. Hey, she might be going for my idea. With knight b5 and a6, just try to block things down. What about this? She's gonna go bishop b5. Oh, she can play knight b5 too. Knight b5. Knight b5 is probably better, because if I take in c4, then you take in c3. This is getting scary. Very scary. Do we have other ideas? No ideas by the chat. Chat's gone quiet. So did Sabina. I'm actually not sure. This seems like the best choice for white in this position to really create something. Because otherwise white's kind of stuck. The queen is out of play. These pieces do nothing. I don't know. E4 doesn't do anything. F4 blocks the bishop. So, like, this is the only thing that I can think of. Knight d2. Sure, knight d2 or knight a5. Knight a5 seemed a bit more aggressive. Toast, that's why I suggested that. But, I mean, bishop d3 here. And if you go there, I'm thinking maybe knight b5. I mean, I could be totally wrong, and try to trade your rook. That's what I'm thinking. But yeah, I mean, okay. One of those two moves. One more active, one more passive, but yeah. Gives away some chances. Moving on to this position. Yeah, this was the one. So it looks like Nick did end up going for c5 here, which is nice. The only thing that I don't like about the position is allowing potentially a knight to go to d5, but as long as you are able to kind of make sure the knight doesn't do anything, I think you're good to go. It's basically here is what we have to think about. Is that very serious or not? I don't think it's that serious. I'd go knight e3 and try to trade it. Definitely need knight e3 because this knight is too passive there. But we also have a 5 idea, so when do we make it work? At some point we need to. At some point in time. Kind of over pushing, I think, these pawns. No, there's queen g5 and I lose material. Oops. Ah, but I can come back to But then why did I even go to g4? I don't think all these trades would be giving white sufficient advantage. I mean, this pawn is weak, but a5 can protect it. This bishop is very badly placed, but so is this one at this point. Yeah. What about ideas with a3? Those are ideas I did not consider, because originally I was thinking it's not good. But what if we try to do a3 and trade, and then maybe even b4, b5 later? There's no need to rush with f5. Actually, with white, we can play on both sides. Black's bishops are really badly placed. White has some time here to improve. Yeah. Okay. Knight d5 was played, so we'll have to see how Nick is planning to do this. He does have way more time, so that's a good thing as they're approaching. Oh, knight e3 immediately played. Okay. Nick is doing a good thing. He's probably using his opponent's time to think about what he's going to do himself. Oftentimes we forget to use the opponent's time. We just sit there and we're just, I don't know what we're thinking. Maybe it's just me and I'm just, but I know I've seen people taking the time to do nothing instead of utilizing it to their benefit. But yeah, here Black looks like he's on his way to win. Was it really that winning? It wasn't that winning, but it was much better. So what happened? Rook d1, traded. Okay. Okay. Okay, I mean, White's gonna try something like this. Or something to mate. The only thing he can try. But Black can just trade the queens. I wonder if we can just do this right now. We don't need to, but we could if we wanted to. We could also just start, right? Marching the a-pawn. Since we're up a pawn, why wouldn't we, right? Let's march! The more the merrier. Okay, knight c5, I like it. I like it. You can go back. And then let's march. Bam, bam. At least the pawn makes it to a4. Then rook a8 or something. Yeah, this is good. That is quite decided. Looks like a few more moves were played here. Okay, rook f1, bishop e6. Aww! Eric did not want to go for my move. Queen a4. I thought that was such a cute idea. Like, we have a lot of threats. Okay, rook c6 looks nice too, but... like, what was the plan of queen d1? Is it trying to trap Black's queen? But how? It's just not even... it's not even happening. I don't know why queen d1 was played. Seems kind of sus. Suspicious. This is suspicious. What if I play h5 now? I'm just like, finally, after all this time. I was thinking about it. Let's just do it. Yeah, this looks good. Yeah, the engine was saying 0.8, so okay, good. All right, whatever happened here? Ah, so he went for c6. I was thinking maybe more prep. Rook c1 or something. But he went for it. Okay, c6 takes take. Oh, takes b6. That's a fancy idea. Queen. Oh, what did I do? Listen, I did not consider b6, but I'm liking it. I like this. This looks like likable. b7. Like, what? Oh, sorry, Casual. When are you traveling, Casual? By the way, I don't know if you have social media or not. Today, I did something special. I was inspired by you yesterday, so I made something special. I had a bread machine for a while, and I haven't used it for 2 years. It's been staying in the cupboard, closed, locked there somewhere. I didn't even see it. So what did I do today? I decided to make brioche bread. Not just any kind of bread, brioche bread, because I'm so fancy. I couldn't just make some regular bread. No, 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 no. No, it's Sabina style. Sabina style is a fancy style. You cannot get, like, you can't get normal. Sabina is always gonna be something fancy. Unexpected. Sabina, can you make fries? No, 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 don't worry. I'm gonna make something better. I'm gonna make baked potatoes that taste like fries, but they're made in the oven. Not one of those air fryers, no. Oven, guys, oven. That's why they invented it. You know? You just... Yeah. Yeah, I was like, I feel like making it. Yeah, I posted it on social. Like, I can't show you because I don't think the picture will actually show. But yeah, like it's like maybe a pound of bread made all natural with like flour, yeast, and butter, milk, water, salt, and sugar. I didn't even have sugar. I had one packet that I don't know how I had it. Mistakenly, I found it somewhere in my kitchen. So I put it there, and it's delicious. Yeah. So, and I ordered snacks too, so I'll have snacks. Eggs, yes, sorry, thanks. I did put 2 eggs. Yes, I did put 2 eggs. Thanks, Toast. Yes. You would know, your name, you would know all kinds of breads, right? Based on your username. Hopefully. But yeah, I put eggs too, and yeah, it was perfect. It was. I only had a slice. My goal is 1 slice a day, but I don't think that's gonna survive much. I need to keep it in the. You bake, nice. I've baked bread before, but I'm not very good at kneading bread, I think it's called. So that machine is perfect because I don't need to. French toast. That's what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking. The only problem is this brioche thing. I don't know if I did something wrong. I should have melted the butter. I did not melt the butter. So because I didn't melt the butter fully, I should have microwaved it longer. But because I didn't melt it, I don't know, it's crumbly. But I can definitely make French toast. Yes, that's a great idea. That's what I'm gonna have for breakfast. French toast. But a Romanian way. Because you cannot have French toast the American way, okay? It's Sabina style. You need to get it. Romanian way French toast is just literally eggs and bread, and it's not sweet. It's not a sweet thing. It's a salty thing. It's happening tomorrow. Definitely. I was planning to lose weight, but I don't think I'm gonna lose weight. Yeah. That's not happening. That is not happening, casual. No sugar. Actually, literally. But you said honey. You said honey. Okay, true. I could put honey, but why put honey when you can just not put honey? You can just make it salty. I prefer a salty breakfast to a sweet one. I don't know why. Like, I'm not a huge fan of sweet breakfasts. The only sweet thing I'll eat for breakfast are oats or yogurts with something. You put meal? Oh, milk. Yeah. Eggs, milk. And I use this Vegeta is a Romanian. Well, actually, it's a Serbian spice. It's some dried veggie spice. And I usually add some salt and pepper and parsley. Sometimes nothing. Usually nothing. And yeah, tastes pretty good. As a kid, I would have bread with Nutella for breakfast on special occasions when my dad would think it's okay. Because usually what was happening is like we had this shelf where the Nutella was standing, and every time me or my sister wanted a snack, we would go to the kitchen, open the Nutella jar, get a spoon, and take a bite of the Nutella. So whenever dad wanted us to have breakfast Nutella, there's nothing left because each time someone was going and taking a spoon of that. Don't let your kids have access to Nutella. Listen to my advice. Okay, I should Google that. Indian style. How is that pronounced even? Burji? I should ask my friend. Yeah. I see it. Yeah, we make stuff like this too. I like scrambled eggs. Yeah, I like scrambled eggs or omelets or sunny side up. Or my favorite, eggs Benedict. But those I never make. I never made them. I don't know. I'm too lazy. I don't know how to make the sauce. Brejesh looks like he's on his way to win this. Nice. Okay, so he finally is winning material here, I think. Because if you go here, we go here. Oh my god, this would be a domination. Fully domination. This would be really nice. Yes, that's right, yeah. Shakshuka also. Okay, well, this looks nice. This hasn't changed much since we last saw it. Looks like Night Day 5 was played indeed. You're going to bed? Be happy? Thank you. I will be happy. It's a promise. But will you come back on stream another time before you go? Let me know. That I will know if I'll be very happy or less happy. That's... No, wait. I learned something. It should not be dependent on other people. But I hope you'll be back. Thanks so much for stopping by and have a good night. Thanks for the nice advice. Wait, what? Wait, what? Oh my god, what? No way. No way. Oh my god, this is sad. White played this move, come on. Nate panicked. He was in time trouble. I feel bad for Nate. He was in time trouble and he panicked. B7, I mean, oh, he had 11 minutes. He had 11 minutes. He spent 10 and he took. Oh, I feel for him. Oh, this is a tough loss. This is a tough loss. He was worse. His opponent didn't play well, and he totally outplayed his opponent. He should be proud of himself for that. Definitely should be proud. If he's watching, if you're watching, Nate, if someone knows Nate, let him know he should be proud of the way he played. Obviously not too proud of this move, but yeah, he totally outplayed. He was probably panicking of something, but there's no threat. I just don't see what he could have been scared of. Like, takes, nothing. Bishop f3. Takes, bishop f3. Even that, by the time the rook gets on the h file, there's nothing. Just b7. I don't see. Not as bad as... Come on, Paul. Don't be like that. Paul, do I know you? Like, do I know you from somewhere? Like, your username sounds so familiar. I mean, I know you've been on stream before, but do I actually know you? Because I feel like I do. Do I know you from Castle? Rose finally moved. D4, okay. I'm sorry, I did not play in Alto. So you actually live in Charlotte? I was not doing very well. Still not doing the best, but I'm working on it. I finally started working on... Okay. No, there was another person who had... That's why I think I asked you before. There was another person who had a similar username that I met at Castle, like something with E4. That's why I thought, but... Yeah, I'll actually be doing commentary for Luke. I don't know what his last name is. I actually don't know what his username is. But I will be doing as I told you guys, I am doing quite a bit of commentary. So this weekend is the Space Coast, and then Tuesday and Wednesday I'll do commentary for someone. And then it's gonna be on their channel, but it's gonna be a restream. And then on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I'll do commentary for US Chess for the Super Nationals. So yeah. I see. Yeah. I don't know how long of a drive it is, but yeah, I get it. I get it. Rose has a better position. Here, like, we like white slightly better, but it's not so clear the improvement. Black will try to get rid of that bishop. And this should be winning for black. Okay. Games are approaching time trouble, so it's going to be interesting to see their time trouble. Look at that, knight c6. I called it. I called it first. This is a gorgeous dominating move. I mean, you can't even take, because if you do, no way to stop that pawn. There's no way to stop that pawn. Queen d8 or something. It doesn't even do anything. Knight b5, c7 is GG. I like how Rose played d4 because now any trades... Way too many weaknesses for white. Way too many. Which game should you stay on as the time trouble approaches? I feel like this is probably the one that we should focus on just a bit longer as time travel approaches. Or do you guys have a preference? What do you guys have any threats? Any questions? Definitely no threats. We want no threats here. Queen b4. Planet Al, I think are you rooting for Rose? Or not? I don't know. You said she moved, so I made an assumption. I tend to make assumptions and overthink all the time, so you know. No threats. Yeah, I forget. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You mentioned that before. I remember. I think I haven't seen you on my stream, but I also haven't streamed much. No, casual. No. Are you traveling tonight or tomorrow? Casual. I will have snacks too. I ordered them specially at your request tomorrow. Okay, I hope you have a safe trip and it's not too crazy. Hopefully it's not too far. Hopefully it's a drive or maybe it's a flight. I don't know, but hopefully, you know, it goes well, all smooth, and I'll see you on another, maybe tomorrow, maybe other weekend. I'll try to figure these will get posted on YouTube for sure too, because there's no music in the background. I still have to fix the music part, but I will. Thank you so much for stopping by, and thanks again for yesterday. Good night, casual. Okay. Yeah, I remember. I was streaming more during COVID, and then my streaming schedule is messy, and I know like I've people don't know if they should trust me or not. But basically like, can you guys still should be able to hear me? Um Basically when I travel, when I do other things like um camps, or if I travel to Romania, or if I travel for some tournament or Instagram or something, I don't know, Instagram work, like social media work, then then um you won't see me here, unfortunately. Can you guys still hear me? Because I was just checking my Streamlabs and it doesn't show me the thing anymore. Did my Streamlabs freeze? No, right? You can. Okay. Okay, I panicked because I couldn't see the thing moving. Okay, as long as it's there, we're safe. What's... okay, okay. What is that? What does that have to do with anything, dear kid? That has nothing to do with me hearing myself. You know how the microphone usually makes like noise, like you can see how loud you're talking. Yeah, it disappeared from my Streamlabs, so I panicked. I don't know what's happening. I panicked for a second. You live a few miles from San Luis Chess Club. Did you ever go? Like, they're gonna open the club again for spectators once they will have their bigger tournament. So I think that'll be nice if you live close by. No, I never lived in San Luis, no. I come there occasionally for social media jobs, or if I play in one of their tournaments. I haven't played in one because my rating has been going the wrong way down. Okay, so what's happening now? Why? Where's he bringing the knights? B5? Maybe he wants... Ah, maybe I have an idea. Maybe he wants to trade queens. Maybe do something like this. Seems like white is losing a bit of the edge. This game shows 0-0. Oh, wow. Ooh. Ouch. Mate's coming. Mate is coming in this game. All right. Black ended up... Yeah, Black could play Rook C8 in the other game, Jake. Yeah, he could. I'll go back to that game. I just saw 0-0 and I was just wondering what is going on here, but this is going to be GG very soon. Okay, he took with the queen. Now you got a sack and Black will be on his way to winning. This one shows 0-0, so I don't know if Nick lost on time or what happened. Maybe because of the delay. Wait, Brzezic only ended up with a pawn up? I would have felt like he could have gotten more after that beautiful knight c6. Rook c7. That is a dramatic end, the one with the promotion. Yeah, definitely. But why did he trade queens here? Can't he just go back somewhere? Okay, this should be winning pawn up. Yep, this is GG after the promotion. Nice game by Jean-Marco Cruz. This one, we don't know what's going on. It shows 0-0. Okay, I think we're gonna stick to this one. So Jake asked me if the file could not be contested. It could be. It could be contested now. But you have to use the other rook. But I feel like knight d5 works. Because I'm deflecting your knight from the protection and then I take. And if you put this other rook, then I take here. So I guess the answer is no. I changed my mind. You cannot be contested, the file. Not quite. I mean, not yet. Oh, wait. Oh, was that possible? Really? Yeah, it's a bit. That's why the guy wasn't doing it. That's why Black was not trying to do it. It's not easy to do. So can we sack? Maybe not. Oh, but wait, I can take with the rook. Because you can't go rook c8 because of that. That's why I make sure you're not contesting anything. But I don't know what's the follow-up though. But you have to take, actually. What is he thinking about? Dr. Jamie, long time. I like rook takes c7. Yeah, rook takes c7 is better. Okay, so here. Okay, and now what? He could try to get two extra. No, because the queen can go to g6. So he has to take. Maybe now he plans on taking, but is this gonna be sufficient for white to win? Yeah, I agree. I don't think this is enough. I mean, what is Black thinking about? They only have one move. Are they thinking to sack the queen or something? Come on, queen g4. They traded. Okay, so what do we do now? Rook b7? But we can get a draw. I think white messed up his advantage a bit here. A bit more than a bit. Oh, there's more time on this game. How did that happen? Okay, so white finally got the f5 in. I love that. But this one is weak. f5 was a nice touch. Nice touch by Black. As if you take, this is going to be a long-term weakness. But instead he's like, you know what? Stay with your pawn up. Oh, I'm getting counterplay. Black is getting counterplay. Uh-oh. Who is better and why? Knight takes. What is happening with people blundering material these days? Oh, I don't know why I'm so sad. I don't want them to blunder. Nick is at such a good position. He was in pole position, like in the driver's seat, like Yasser says. Takes, takes. Can we take this pawn? Oh, knight b7, oops. See, I'm blundering too. I'm blundering too. It's only a flesh wound. Okay, we can move the rook first, like maybe rook d5 and then take. Yeah, sure. That pawn will fall. Should we take with the king or with the pawn? Pawn, yeah, makes sense. So he did end up giving the exchange. I don't know why this was necessary, why it was improving there. Bishop e6, knight c3. How is white improving further now? I mean, I guess technically if we play bishop g2 and try to take that, then we can bring in the king to d3 and try to support. But I think for black should be happy to trade this rook. Yeah, white was doing quite well. I don't know, they maneuvered this knight like a little too much and they got their rooks stuck there. I mean, I think it would have been so much better when I suggested queen a4 there. Like, okay, rook c1, yes, of course, you got the c file. There's no rook c8, you just bring in the queen. Like, I don't normally don't want it, but you can get an infiltrate with the queen over there. And then 7th rank is an issue, and you want rook e7, rook c7, you know? Just bring in additional material. I mean, this wasn't bad. It's just like, you probably have to calculate this knight takes d5 here and figure out what you can do. It's not easy, though. Because you have that idea, but... Okay, let's say he goes king h8 or something. But now it's different. Like, technically, you could do the same thing, right? Because now you don't need to touch your knight like in the game. So now maybe you can go bishop. No, but that's bishop f5. And rook c8. Queen a4 looked solid, yeah. Like, maybe bishop here to not allow rook c8. But, and then I don't know, it takes a while to try to get that pawn. Like, it takes a while. Yeah, but at this point, I'm not sure white still has some ideas. I mean, I would love to do something like that and take the pawn. But the issue is that, okay, you need to keep the file closed, because if black goes rook c8 and trades a pair of rooks, with that rook on the c file, as soon as you touch the knight, they will get activated on the second rank. And The bad thing about the situation is that your king will be stuck from advancing because you got this f pawn pushed. Usually you want to have your pawns the other way around. Yeah, I know it doesn't make sense to sack an exchange, but sometimes when you're getting lower on time, your mind does not think the same way as when you have a lot of time. That's the issue, you know? That is the issue. A6? A6 cannot be good. Wait, what happens if I take? I think you forgot about rook c8. That never happens to you? Okay, Jake. You're special. You're especially good. You never make a mistake. That's good. Oh, well. A6 was a big mistake. Big mistake. We can just take it. Oh, he didn't take it, Brajesh. Come on, man. Come on. Really? You did not take it? Like, why? Why didn't you take it? What am I missing? Is there some check here or something? It's the same thing. Like, okay, you have one more check and I go here. Like, oh, maybe he thought this or something? No, this I make a queen, so I win. I make a queen and I win. Okay, rook a2. He didn't think this was winning? Okay, this should be winning. This should be winning. Okay, this is, you know what, like whenever there are knights on the board, I highly recommend you know, trading them off. Is much harder rooks and knights, I think, than it is with rooks. At least you know kind of clearly what's going on. You should not keep knights on the board. It's much easier. Chess pawn, hey, how are you doing? Like, I do not know. You're good? Awesome. He had the time to calculate too. I'm a bit surprised by his decision here not to take. I've messed up a lot of positions with rook and knights in the past. Because the knight out of nowhere creates these threats that you don't expect, you know? It's just out of nowhere. But okay, actually, wait a second. I mean, I'm silly. Gosh. Why didn't he give a check first? Is it the same or no? Because, like... Oh, yeah, no, we cannot take now. No. Check doesn't help. So we have to take an e6. He had to calculate that line. Okay, Rose looks like she's having a really good position. She's probably on her way to win this. The knight is definitely a unique piece. Yes, my favorite piece. It's very unique. Uniquely good. Oh, freebie. Freebie. Not quite, but this is gonna fall too. Ah, this is black setup. If you take like this, we go rook g3. He has one setup. Okay, Rose will not fall for that setup. So this is the only thing she should not do. Anything else should be good for black. I think bishop takes seems fine. Knight controls. Oh my god, she actually went for knight c5. What? This is not good because now if you go bishop g5, I take. Why it doesn't work? Oh my god, this is not good. Where this? This happened. It's happening. Do we go rook g5 or h4? What do we do for? What do we do now? Oh my god. Maybe I'm just bringing these people. No, I couldn't bring them better luck because because they have a delay puzzle rush. Yeah, I feel bad. Can black actually sack the queen for 2 rooks? h4 was played. 2 rooks and a piece and a pawn. 2 rooks and a pawn for a queen and a... I don't know. Knight comes back. Yeah, it's too much, right? She played it too fast, I think. Steven! How are you doing, Steven? What's up? You have 6, I'm too tired to calculate. Yeah, okay. Queen e4, I think, is another. Back from a busy day at school. Bishop d2 here. No, but this is what they're talking about. This is mate. This is what are you talking about, chess pawn? This is a windmill. Yeah, no worries. I think you missed that. No worries. So f6 or queen e4 are the 2 options for black. She played f6. So now if we take, she wants to take, which would be really good for black. So you cannot take after f6. So you either move this bishop or you take here. But if you move it, where do you move it? Oh wow, white took. Rook d e8. Yeah. Well, it looks good. It looks spicy. I don't know what's happening. So you're pinned. This is hanging. This is kind of hanging. Your bishop is hanging. Your rook is hanging. Maybe you have to kind of move something. Maybe this. Because you need to escape with the queen and yeah, this is probably good. Because if you trade everything and then you take, I take, and I think maybe I can hold that with white. This move was played. This cannot be good. Because when this happens, the knight is attacked. Okay, so white blundered, I think. So now when you take the bishop, I take the knight. You can't protect it. Or what does white want to do? To take an e5? Or take an f8? Ah, maybe is hoping that black will take back like that to go 97. But okay, after you take an f8, the king takes in f8. I think white miscalculated. Yeah. So now you're a piece down, and if you go 95, I think I just go queen somewhere. Maybe I can even trade. I was thinking here or here. Here. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Okay, now it's game over. Yeah. But she made there a big blunder. Almost scared. Got a scare there. Wait, is this game not over? No, they're still playing. It's tough for Nick. Because Nick had such a good position, and how did he lose his queen? Yeah. There was a tough miss there. Rook f3. This is a win for Rose. Alright, Brzezic is on his way to win too. He won the knight somehow. Okay, at least. How did that happen? Did the guy just blunder it? Ah, he had a small trap. Okay. Okay, so he played f4. His opponent took, so he won the... Okay. I guess this was winning too. I like the other way around. I missed the fact that the knight could be captured. My bad. Okay, this is winning. That was a huge set. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. We got these pawns going forward. Someone's gonna improve here a lot. How did they get there? So, okay. Oh, black tried to trade the bishops. Not the rooks is what you have to try to trade. The rooks. This rook needs out. And then basically here you can't really take because I think this. Uh-oh. I just blundered. Sorry, you want to go bishop b7 here? Sure. Okay, it's still better. It's still better for black to have one rook less on the board. Like that, I can tell you for sure. I thought you wanted to take with the knight, though. You want to take with the bishop, then you go back and push, yeah. Let's make you take like this, and then... Maybe I need to do something like this. And to trade as much as possible. But I don't know if I have time. Because you just bring in the king and... Yeah, okay, this... White has some chances here. But I think... With the rooks on the board, they'll have more threats. And also this bishop here keeps the file closed, so black will never have any activity. Once you go d5, it's over. Yeah, this is GG. Alright, so Oscar won. Rose is up a piece. She's on her way to win. Without rooks is yeah, this is gonna be a mate. Just king f3, 93. Okay. Okay, now all white has to do is bring the king and should be winning. Interesting first round. I'm definitely going to try to see where the pairings are for tomorrow. Tomorrow, the next round is going to be at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. So I'll be live around that time. There's a 10 minutes delay. So it'll probably be around 10:30, 10:45 a.m. tomorrow morning. And same goes for Sunday. And the second round of the day will start at 4:30. So I'll be around at that time, 4:30, 4:45. Eastern time, by the way. Those are all Eastern time. Okay, Brezish finished with a beautiful mate. Nice finish. Rose is on her way to win. And this is the last game we have remaining. What inspired me to... no, I actually was contacted by the organizers to cover the event. This is my 3rd year in a row that I'm covering this event. So I'm thankful for them for asking me to cover the tournament. And I have a few other things that I'm covering, and there'll be streams. I mean, obviously not other streams other than these on the weekend, but it's already gonna be a lot of hours, like probably 8 hours tomorrow and 8 hours on Saturday. And Tuesday and Wednesday I'll do commentary for a chess player who takes place in this tournament in Formentera. So it will be in the morning on Wednesday and Tuesday and Wednesday. And then on Friday, I'll be covering the Super Nationals. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday next week. I'm kind of excited. It's a lot of... I do a great job. Thanks. Appreciate it. I try my best. Sometimes less energetic than others, but today was a good day, surprisingly. Though I gotta tell you, it was a really long day. I've been up since 7, and I had to teach a few classes and catch up with a few things for the other projects that I do. But it's been an exciting round, definitely, for sure. And I cannot wait to see what tomorrow will bring. I mean, it's obviously an interesting tournament, and their prize fund is huge. So if I just switch for a moment to this tournament schedule, let's just flip let's see if it works. Yep. So if we look at the tournament, we can actually check their previous winners. They had Grandmaster Zhuzhan Chao, who won the past 2 years, and then they also had Timur Gareev winning in 2022. So actually, yeah, this is my 4th year, I guess, that I did commentary for them. Pretty sure. Because I'm pretty sure I did in 2022 also. So yeah, like 4th year, I guess, doing commentary for the tournament. Because I remember when Timur won, I was commenting on that. So they had, they've been organizing this tournament for 30 years. It's, amazing. From 1991. Wait, from 1991? Yeah, I think they had a couple of years that they didn't organize it, because this is the 30th edition. So that's the information about the players. It takes place in Florida, and they have 6 sections. And what I love about the tournament is they also have upset prizes. So if someone who's low rated beats a stronger one, they also get like a book prize, which is nice. of course, you can choose your book from their bookstore. And they have a brilliancy prize. Now, I don't remember if I was ever told what the brilliancy prizes were, like which games won those, but I always love to see the games that won brilliancy prizes. Sometimes I don't see them because they are not, broadcasted live, but it's kind of nice to see that. And what else did I want to tell you about it? Oh, if you are in that location, they also have a few lectures that are taking place tomorrow and the next day. And here's the schedule. So I have a big expectations for tomorrow's 2-day schedule, because I think we're going to see games 1 and 2 are going to be game 60. So in game 3, I think we're going to see some grandmasters playing for the top prize. So I'm looking forward to catching up with those. I mean, we've had some great games, even if the players were only FIDE masters, but like they've played really nice enterprising chess. They followed principles. They made some blunders, unfortunately, but listen, that's what chess is all about. You gotta know how to come back from losses. And the lectures that they have are with Zhu Chao and Grandmaster Zhu Chao and Grandmaster Nikola Mitkov, Saturday and Sunday, which is kind of nice. So, anyways, those are the main the main things that I wanted to point out to you about the tournament. And I always was thinking, should I play in it? Can I play in it? Can I not? But anyways, in the end, it just so happened that I ended up commenting it instead. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. And we'll continue having some nice games. This one, okay, let's stick with this one since everything else has finished. Let's stick to this one and see if we're gonna have anything interesting. Any changes? I don't think. It seems kind of straightforward for white after bishop d3. Push takes, depends where you move the king. If you go to g6, maybe f5 and takes. Can also take here. Of course, temporarily this rook looks kind of sad because it's trapped, right? You don't want to trap it like that. Just make sure you can escape with it. Otherwise, it looks kind of sad. But black's counterplay to try to take here is not going to pay off because, these pawns are too valuable. That's why black should have been very cautious earlier and not allow for this to happen. Okay, both players have... Okay, do we see f5? What do we think? Do we see e6 or do we see f5? Let's take a wild guess. Everyone in the chat. I should have made a poll. Rook takes b2, f5. Rook takes g6. Okay. I would have gone for that too. I would have gone for this. I think this is probably the best approach. Okay. All right. Is he gonna take this pawn or he's gonna try one of those pawns? At this point, all we can do is just guess the best move. He has the time. He built up some time. He has 2 minutes. We can wait. Meanwhile, do you guys have any questions? So tomorrow, around 10:30, 10:45, you will see me live with round 2 commentary. If you haven't followed yet, don't forget to follow my channel to stay notified when I go live. If you like my commentary, I would appreciate it. This video very likely will be posted. No, should definitely be posted on YouTube as well. So you can always replay and see. There's this funny idea, but it doesn't even work because white can always play bishop a2 or bishop e4 and grab the pawn, unfortunately. So unfortunately, you know, there's not so much the black can do at this point. Don't ever allow your opponent to stay with such connected pass pawns. It's gonna be the end. It's gonna be the end of it. The end. I wonder what's White thinking about. He's trying to probably make it the fanciest possible. Maybe he's thinking to play this and mate. At this point, whenever I have such positions, you know, I'm thinking what is the fanciest thing. But you shouldn't think too much because, you know, your time is running down. I mean, you don't wanna think until your time is running out completely. But yeah. Okay, he checked him. He wanted to do f6 with check. Okay, we're gonna see f6 with check. This has become a guessing game at this point. It was an interesting game. Round, I mean. No. He has some other mate in mind. Okay, here's what he wants. He wants black to move this rook somewhere, okay? So that he can give f6 check. And if you go king f7, he was literally calculating mates. And if you go here, we got this gorgeous mate. It's so beautifully, it's like, it's made like a cross, like it's a cross mate. That's kind of cute. Anyways, if you, after rook h7, you go king to g8, then we go f7. And no, we do not check you. Nope. No check. We go e6, okay? No check. You go here. No check. No, because that's not mate. But here, pawn mate, okay? So I think this is basically what White is trying to do here after going bishop e4 in this position. White was thinking, listen, I want to be fancy. You don't want to resign? It's obviously resignable. These pawns are much stronger than your rook. But I totally get it, so let me try to be creative. Maybe I'll go for the brilliancy prize for the mate. Hi, Giorgani, Giorgio, how are you doing? So will black allow white to do that mate? If I were black, I would allow that mate. I don't know where I would move my rook, but come on. I've never seen a cross mate like this. Have you guys? It's like such a gorgeous thing. A cross mate. I don't even know. It's not a cross mate. I don't know how you would call this. But it is like a cross. So I don't know. Is it... Oh, wait. What happened? f6. Yes! Oh, come on. Is he gonna go rook f6? No, come on. For the beauty purposes, please do not go rook takes f6. Please. Please, for me. Okay, he did not go. Good. He did not. Okay, he listened to me. Rook h7. Okay, let's go. Rook h7. I don't think I've seen a crossmate before. I was just so excited. Come on, Rook h7. Do it. You got another round tomorrow. You gotta get ready. I need to get some rest so I can comment tomorrow in a good fashion. What is he thinking about? Man? Eric? Go, Eric. Is he trying to calculate all the mates? He's trying to think of king g8, probably. I think he doesn't give a check as he's thinking black will end up going king g8. And his rook will be attacked. Yeah. He went king e3. Ay. Black's gonna play b2. And we won't have a crossmate. It's so devastating. Come on. Been praying for this crossmate for a while. Like, it was a wishful thinking. Okay. Black's gonna go here. Now we're gonna go here. They will go there. And now we're gonna go for this other mate. Anyways, guys, do you have any specific questions? Nate, hey Nate, thanks so much for the raid. I hope you had a great stream. We are finishing up soon too. It was a great evening of commentary for the first round of the Space Coast Open. No songs. No songs. Dirke, I'm somehow ahead of you. I don't know how. But yeah, tomorrow I'll be back. So the entire weekend is happening with streams, as I promised you guys. 10:30 or 10:45 a.m. Eastern time, and for round 2 at 4:30, 4:45. There'll be a little bit of break in between the games for me to get some rest, because I talk too much. But anyways, that's fine, because talking is what I love to do the most. I don't know how my friends can stand me sometimes, seriously. I can switch my topics in 5 seconds. It's okay, Dirk, don't worry. Yeah, I'm kind of excited to see what tomorrow will bring, because I believe the Grandmasters will be joining the tournament for the 2-day schedule. So it will be cool to see them play too. It's nice calling in the shots. And I'm always mindful, you know, when I see some Grandmaster playing, and if they blunder, though they probably won't blunder, but if they do, Oh, look at Streamlabs. Great. North Carolina Den. Long time no see. Streamlabs. Wait. Oh, I made a mistake. Sunday is actually 9:45. No. It's 10:45. Yeah, 3:45. No, it's correct. I did the right thing. Yes. That is correct. So the commands are correct. Good. I guess we won't be seeing a mate. No. We're not seeing a mate anymore, I feel like. It's... What is White doing? Just... I feel like he's gonna take the rook. And let us feel a disappointment of not seeing a crossmate. Let me show that crossmate again, because he was way too gorgeous not to show. So basically I was saying that here, check it if you go king e6. Oh, look at this beautiful mate. I mean, come on. Even the dramatic me can make you like such a mate. But of course you can go king g8, and then we said f7 and e6. And that mate is kind of inevitable. Of course you can go rook b7, but that can be captured, or rook h8 promotion. And anyways, that seals the deal. Okay, it looks like he sacked. Okay, he's gonna win this endgame. Nice. On a TV program I saw. Shut up. Was calling an herb that was called shut up. I'm pretty sure that was not just a regular herb. I think we know what kind of herb we're talking about. Well, I need to do commentary, so I cannot, unfortunately, do that. But with any other occasion, if I talk too much, you can find that herb and send me some. But yeah, that was funny. That was funny, Finbar. Thanks for that laugh. It was a nice laugh to finish the stream. So very exciting, 6 decisive games in the first round of the 30th edition of the Space Coast Championship, or festival, better said. So it looks like Eric is on his way to win this game. Ryan Ambergy got super lucky despite a really tough position with his opponent spending quite a lot of time and somehow having a huge blind spot by capturing in f4 and falling for this discovered check, losing his queen. He probably just thought his opponent was going to take back and he'd go knight g3 and then he can focus on promoting this pawn. Unfortunately for him, that did not quite work and it was GG. So good game for Ryan. Going on to board 3. This was a really nice game played by Brajesh when his opponent gave him the chance of making this f5 move early in the game. He was able to get the right kind of focus on the pawn in e6, despite the fact that he spent a little bit of time, and I was quite unhappy personally about that, but he was able to eventually conclude this game in a nice fashion, winning a piece. Rose had an up and down game, but in the end, she was mostly like doing much better the entire game until she made this blunder that was a bit scary because it allowed the opponent to get some counterplay on the g file, but due to some not the best play, I would say, by White misplayed it quite a bit. It had to find only moves in order to be able to maintain equality. Unfortunately, White blundered here, and then the game finished with a nice win by Rose. Nicely done. In this game, Nick was doing so much better. It was kind of sad to see that his better position somehow transformed into a nightmare, as somehow from him being the one putting pressure and opening up and creating a weakness in e6, Black came up with this gorgeous idea, f5, closing down the position, saying, you know what, I'm not going to take an e6 for you to be able to capture that pawn later. Instead, I'll go for f5, and when I go f5 now, what's happening? Well, I'm eventually going to take the pawn back, but I'm taking it in a way that I like, and I'm not destroying my pawn structure. So I'll be able to take it back with the rook there. In addition, I'll be able to actually open up the file and help my pieces get into play. And somehow, you know, unfortunately for him, Nick blundered here again. This g takes f4 looks like it happened in 2 games. I don't know what happened. Some telepathy with a lot of delay telepathy or something. G takes f4, blunder in both board 2 and board 5, as this loses material, and eventually White went on to lose. And this was that Sicilian gone wrong a little bit for White, despite the fact that White tried to be a bit aggressive with f4 and stuff. In the end, he wasn't able to hold on to all this pressure that he thought he created. You know, it was a wrong approach. This pawn in f4 was much stronger, much easier to protect than this one, and Black went on to win. So kind of an interesting round. I certainly hope you guys enjoyed it. Looks like that game finally finished after rook h8. Again, very thankful to the organizers of the Space Coast Open Championship for inviting me to do commentary for this tournament. I appreciate everyone who's joined in, who followed. If you haven't done so yet, please do so. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to rate someone now. as we finish the stream, but I certainly hope that I'll be seeing you tomorrow at 10:30-ish a.m. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night, and